The lone hero with the power to save the world fully commits to joining the demon army after a sudden crossover. All due to one error made by the goddess. The hero, meant to land in the beginner village, mistakenly finds himself at the Demon King's lair. To make matters worse, the strongest warrior stands right in front of him. Yet, he remains blissfully unaware because the goddess misled him, claiming his initial stop would be the beginner village, where all foes were weaklings. So, the hero launches an attack on the demon without second thoughts. Perish, you low-tier tutorial monster. Unsurprisingly, he's swiftly defeated. Consequently, the hero finds himself locked away in prison. Refusing to back down, he yells that he wants a rematch with the Minotaur. However, his unruly noise catches the attention of the Demon King's second-in-command, Gobzo. Music. Gobzo casually sets his massive sword down, the thunderous impact sending chills down the hero's spine. That's a real sword right there. Alright, I'll music keep it down. Gobzo turns to leave, saying, "Human, make another sound, and I'll stew you alive." After he departs, Il sits on the ground, utterly bewildered because the goddess once assured him that this world would be an easy and fun-filled adventure without any danger whatsoever. He was even promised the company of the village chief's 18 daughters. Music, little does he realize, all of this was just the goddess spinning tales to meet her performance quota by sending them to another world. Just as Il struggles to wrap his head around it, a voice cuts through from the neighboring cell. "Are you the new hero?" Il swiftly replies with a question about the stranger's identity. "I'm a hero too." We find ourselves in the slave dungeon of the Demon King's stronghold. Il is taken aback, but what's next blows his mind. The hero in the adjacent cell smirks devilishly, then roars, "You so-called heroes, are you all still alive?" As his words, music echo, the entire dungeon erupts in response. "I'm an S-rank hero. I'm alive, too." The hero beams with pride. As you can see, there are over 100 heroes in this dungeon. The boss around here is the Minotaur El Din, and Gobzo is the second in command. Music. Both are notoriously fearsome. Suddenly, the hero's voice cracks. "Our current plight is due to that demon, Rachel." Il's eyes widen. Rachel, isn't that the goddess's name? Through the hero's explanations, he discovers that a hero's first destination should typically be the city, but because of Rachel's blunder, they were transported to the wrong location. Since beginner heroes lack any real skills, they are utterly helpless to fight back. It's a hellish beginning. The next morning, he gets a true taste of what hell's like. Not only is he forced to work for the Demon King without pay, but worse yet, at the end of the day, Gobzo uses Il as his steed. Back we go, slaves, you short music chubby goblin. One day, I will carve you into pieces. Once back in the slave dungeon, Il feels utterly drained, but after a brief rest, he suddenly recalls the goddess mentioning that heroes have a status window privilege, so he quickly conjures it. Scanning through, his stats appear superior to those of normal folks. However, considering he was formerly the universe boxing champion, it doesn't feel out of place. Endurance 31. This statement instantly rattles the hero next door. Impressive. Music. You have 31 endurance at merely level 1, but I'm still a slave. Il remains indifferent, yet the hero believes he's something special. You'll definitely manage to break free from here and become a real hero. But when faced with this encouragement, Il is ready to throw in the towel. When deep night arrives, he quietly gets up, intending to check the status window once more, wondering if he overlooked anything. After scanning for a bit, he actually uncovers something surprising. What are these hero points? Earlier today, he asked the hero about them, and they insisted this concept didn't exist. Am I the sole real hero here? As Il ponders this, a sudden burst of light catches his attention. Long time, no see, Mr. Hero. The newcomer is none other than the goddess Rachel. Allow this goddess to explain the purpose of hero points. They are the essential element for forging the ultimate hero. But upon hearing the goddess kindly respond to his inquiries, Il quickly becomes enraged. I couldn't care less about hero points or anything of that sort. First, I'm going to knock you out. Moments later, the goddess finds herself subdued and pleading for mercy. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that spilling just a bit of coffee on the magic circle would mess up your teleportation. The higher gods caught wind of this, and they punish her by making her Il's personal goddess until he vanquishes the Demon King. As a triple S-rank hero, completing this task shouldn't pose much difficulty, but Il is completely indifferent. Instead of hunting the Demon King or whatever, he'd much prefer to remain here and live a normal life. After all, in his previous life as the universe boxing champion, he fought his whole life and still died alone. I'm exhausted from a life of conflict and bloodshed. The goddess is left speechless. As long as the mission remains unfinished, she can never return to her original world while she attempts to persuade him further. Suddenly, a noise erupts from outside the door, startling Il into swiftly grabbing the goddess and gesturing for her to be silent. Don't worry about me. I can use invisibility magic. Upon hearing this, Il releases the goddess and glances toward the door. The visitor is the second in command, Gobzo. Mr. Ludrin wants to see you. After stating this, he escorts Il to the office. The reason being, Gobzo mentioned he acquired a new mount, and that Il's diligent efforts piqued Ludrin's interest. That short, chubby little monster actually praised me like this. Someday, I will make you pay. Your hard work is commendable, so I want to promote you to chief slave." Hearing this, the goddess is instantly taken aback. This guy is genuinely competing with me for him. You'll decline, right? Promptly turn him down decisively. A human hero must never cower before the demon army. Naturally, Il smirks mischievously, then sinks to his knees and prostrates himself. "Thank you, sir. I won't let you down. Very well. I'm starting to take a liking to you." Ludrin nods with approval. 3 days later, Il begins his new position officially. "Move faster. Move faster. My grandma could outrun you. No leaving until you finish up." He's thoroughly content with his current role. Ha 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 ha. Being a slave overseer is amazing. This spectacle leaves onlookers dumbfounded. Has this guy lost his marbles? I heard he was once a human hero. Can you believe it? Il's antics are outrageous even for the nearby goddess Rachel to see. Are you out of your mind? If this keeps up, we're in for some serious trouble. But Il disregards her, declaring, "You little sparrow have no clue about my schemes. What are you doing on the floor? Are you trying to pull a turtle move? Get up and start hustling." After squeezing the minions, he still has the nerve to salute towards Ludrin's office. "Thanks, sir. I'll give it my all." This whole scene totally ticks off the goddess, and she keeps on blabbing about what a hero should do beside him, until Il's ears are nearly ready to peel. So, he hurriedly activates the hero panel. "Due to a fool's error, you were sent to the Demon King's dungeon. Current mission, win over Demon Army Officer Ludrin. I'm just sticking to the hero's quest. Got it?" But the goddess won't buy it, no matter what. Even after going back to the slave dungeon, she still thinks he's pulling her leg. Il can't handle it anymore and yanks the goddess. "Who do you think is the dolt who got me locked up in this mess?" After a warning, the goddess calms down a lot and even stops bugging him during work. Is that really his mission? Only the higher-ups can mess with mission details. So why would they do this? While she's deep in thought, Gobzo shows up. "Mr. Ludrin wants to see you." After getting the order, Il heads to the office with excitement. And after 2 long days, Il's hard work finally wins the commander's nod. "Well done, young man." Seeing the others blush, Il can't help but gawk. Quickly, he seizes the moment before Ludrin does something odd and immediately salutes. "Sir, can you let me train the slaves? I'm set on creating an elite team where one can do the work of 3. That way, the Demon King's castle will be built in a week." At first, Ludrin hesitates, thinking human bodies are too frail for dual duty. But since the one pitching this plan is Il, Ludrin gives a cheerful green light. "Thank you, sir." With approval in hand, Il rushes back to the slave dungeon. But the moment he steps in, the goddess Rachel immediately breaks down. My hero must have lost it. Not only does he bow to the demon army, but he's even helping them suppress his own people. How can I deal with this? Her sobbing and fussing soon drive Il nuts, and he can only helplessly unveil his strategy. "Listen, I don't plan on being a human enemy. I'm simply aiming to use the slaves to start a rebellion." Il has figured that this castle houses a whopping 3,000 slaves, while the demon soldiers number only 500. And not far is a human base, ripe for an escape. Il speaks so clearly that even the goddess who always doubted him feels some respect. Looks like my Mr. Hero isn't just a brainless musclehead since he pulled off the mission to win Ludrin's favor. Il earns 100 hero points. "Let me check out what treasures the hero shop has." He mutters this, eagerly opening the shop, but the items inside instantly blow his mind. Frank skill, hold breath. Skill description, allows the hero to hold their breath. He thought this skill was ridiculous, but as he scrolls further, he finds out he was underestimating things. Frank item, dog poop. Item description, please take it. The goddess can't help but burst out laughing at this. Don't lose heart. This is just a level 1 shot. If you can upgrade it to level 2, you might score better stuff like bigger poop piles. Whoa, hold up. This is what you claimed would make me the ultimate hero. I'll kick off the training for our new recruits. Tomorrow, let's start by chanting our 3rd Legion motto. Let's go. We are the mighty demon army. It's time to crush the humans. Sing our glory. Ludrin from the tower witnesses it all. Excellent. Looks like the young man has lived up to my expectations. Just then, his second in command, Godzo, bursts in, panicked. This is bad news. The human army is marching toward us. The 8th division battling them has already fallen. It's only a matter of time until they reach our gates. Ludrin feels uneasy about abandoning this nearly finished fortress, but Godzo's resolute demeanor is hard to ignore. We have to pull back immediately. After he hears this, Ludrin glances downstairs. He knows that since ancient times, war has always been about seizing wealth. For Ludrin, Il is the most valuable prize here. You flee first. I'll catch up with Il afterwards. With that, he kicks open the window. This action is spotted by Il. Looks like today's combat training isn't going to happen. Someone's been watching from the shadows. In a flash, Ludrin lands behind Il and turns around smoothly. Listen, Il, we're out of time. We've got to get out of here. Where to? Il is bewildered, but as they bicker, the human army has already reached their location. Charge at the commander's order. The war between humans and demons ignites, but soon the commander notices Ludrin standing off to the side. There's the Red Nightmare. Ensuring his death is our top priority. Il quickly grasps the situation. The human army is assaulting. This might actually be my chance. If I just stab Ludrin in the back, I could become a hero in human society. Just then, Il plots his next move, but a human knight races in with lightning speed. Yet, Ludrin simply reaches out and annihilates the knight's skull with a brutal grip. But even more horrifying, he seizes the knight and slams him into the ground with crushing force. This devastating blow ripples across the battlefield, overpowering nearly all the humans in the area. After finishing, he turns to look at Il. "Are you alright?" Startled, Il snaps to attention. "Sir, I'm fine. I'll withdraw immediately." Despite Ludrin single-handedly demolishing an entire human squad, the pressure from reinforcements forces them to retreat. My journey is concluded. My second life is finished. Il is stunned, never realizing Ludrin could be so powerful, shattering his dream of returning to human society with just one strike. Look on the bright side. Heading to Demon Army headquarters could provide insight into their military might, right? Shut it, you liar. Il will never again trust this so-called goddess's nonsense. Yet their bickering awakens the slumbering Ludrin. "Did I hear something? I was asleep and missed it." Il quickly shakes his head. No, I was just expressing how privileged I feel to be with you, sir." Upon hearing this, Ludrin's face lights up, and a peculiar thought crosses his mind. "Once we reach headquarters, I'll formally recommend you to join the Demon Army." Il is frozen in shock. His chances for escape are all but gone. It's an honor. 5 hours later, the convoy pulls into Demon Army headquarters. As soon as they arrive, Ludrin gets ready to introduce Il to the commander. Although he knows this might be somewhat inappropriate, he's convinced that the commander will definitely take a liking to this young guy. Just mind your words, or you music might end up in serious trouble. Before long, they find themselves outside the hall. "Commander Hermes, it's Ludrin." As soon as he speaks, a soft female voice chimes from within. "Come in." With that music go ahead, Ludrin strides into the hall and boldly claims responsibility for the fortress loss, but Hermes shakes her head. She blames the supply officer instead. If it hadn't been for the shortage, the castle would have been a done deal by now. "I'll get a body bag ready for him." As she talks, a chilling aura pours from Hermes, making it hard for Il to breathe. He can feel his limbs tremble with primal fear. What is this suffocating presence? It's more intense than anyone he's faced before. After a short time, Hermes retracts her aura and spots Il standing beside them. Curiously, she asks Ludrin about him. "This is the guy I mentioned earlier, Il. I brought him to enlist in the Demon Army." Instantly, Hermes zips in front of Il, visibly intrigued by the talent Ludrin vouches for, but also expresses a worry. He's human, he could easily be a meal here. Get eaten? Il's eyes widen in shock, looking at Ludrin for support. "With me around, no worries. I'll make sure you're strong enough to handle yourself." However, Hermes shoots down the idea, arguing it's not worth the time of a high-ranking officer like Ludrin to train a human. So, she thrusts her hand into her mouth and starts rummaging wildly. Then her body twists unnaturally. Finally, she spits out an odd creature from her head. "From now on, you'll be my pet guardian. Meet Popo. Isn't he adorable?" Adorable. Music. Adorable my foot. Il just wants to steer clear of that thing. Still, under Hermes' pressure, he reluctantly agrees. "It's an honor to look after Popo. Good job." With that, Hermes tosses the creature to him. Then she shares a vital piece of info. "Don't forget to feed him. When he's hungry, he gets cranky. And when music cranky, he has a sweet tooth for guardians." Just like that, Il becomes part of the Demon Army, and his new hero mission is to win over Popo's affection. Il glances over at the snoozing Popo. "What on earth does this have to do with my hero status?" While he's pondering, the door swings open, and a bald goblin strolls in. Music, he's the other caretaker for Popo. Il tries to be friendly, but knows if trouble arises, he's the first on the menu. "We need to whip up Popo's dinner now," the bald goblin announces with authority. "If you're with me on this, you can start now." Just as he finishes, Popo stirs awake. Terrified, the bald goblin dives behind Il. "This newbie is your dinner." As he says this, he attempts to pin Il down to make it easy for Popo to feast. "One of us has to go anyway, so why not you?" But the bald goblin misjudges Il's strength and is tossed aside in an instant. Snack time. Moments later, the sound of Popo munching and gulping fades away. But even after that, he's still not satisfied, setting his eyes on the goddess Rachel. "Help! Hurry! Help me!" As they dash, Popo's fury escalates, and he starts eyeing Il like a snack. "Quick! Think of a way to chill out an angry pooch." All of a sudden, Il gets a brilliant idea. No dog can resist these words. "Let's head outside and have some fun." Upon hearing this, Popo's expression brightens instantly. Then he leaps into Il's embrace, just as I figured. Shortly after, Il takes Popo out, but they're clueless about the kitchen's location. As they wander aimlessly, a goblin unexpectedly pops up in front of them. Il swiftly calls out, "Hey there. Where's the kitchen?" "Kitchen? It's to the right." With that, the goblin scurries off without a second glance. This sight cracks Il up. Are all the Demon Army folks this skittish? Looks like I can actually count on the power of the pooch from music, this moment on. Yet, just when he's feeling triumphant, he turns around and realizes Popo is already gone. Uh-oh, where did the dog wander off to? The duo starts searching frantically, but fortunately, Their effort pays off and they soon spot Popo again. My dear, do you have any idea how worried I was? Il gazes down and senses something off. Did you just go and bite someone? Just as I'm stunned, a loud yell rings out nearby. Captain Regis has been devoured. I'd bet on Popo being responsible. Rachel's grin swiftly vanishes. Who else could it be? Il hastily grabs Popo and bolts, with the goblins trailing closely behind. Sadly, their little legs can't keep up with Il. But in an unfortunate twist, Il and the gang run right into a corner. Turning back, a horde of goblins has them surrounded. The human who eliminated the captain will be taken down. 2. Another goblin licks his lips. I hope our leader hasn't been digested yet. I've always been curious about what he tastes like. Confronted with this dire scenario, Il suddenly has a bright idea. He decides to try and intimidate them. How dare you disrespect us? With that, Il shakes Popo in his arms. Do you even know who this is? This is Popo. As his words leave his mouth, the goblins instinctively step back. They are all aware of how fearsome Hermes is, Commander Hermes' pet, but there's one who's fearless. Doubting that this human is truthful, so Il bends down and strokes Popo's chin, music a bit. Beast mode unleashed. The moment he pulls back his hand, Popo leaps at that goblin. That's what you get for not believing me. In just 15 seconds, Popo has devoured in whole. Anyone else want a challenge? No. The remaining goblins bow down and surrender. Just then, Hermes' voice suddenly echoes from behind Il. What's all this ruckus about? Turns out it's the adorable newbie stirring up trouble. He's summoned to the office. Once Hermes learns the full story, he bursts into laughter. So, you're leveraging my Popo's reputation for your survival? Seeing this, Il immediately kneels to confess his mistake, but Hermes actually believes there's nothing wrong with that. I guess you were still human after all, and pretty clever too. Hermes says this while tilting Il's chin up. But as a man, you should grasp our demon army's way, which is to tackle problems with strength. Hermes settles back into his chair and then poses a question to Il. Are you interested in stepping up as a senior officer in our demon army? Il is left utterly speechless. With his limited skills, the only option to rise as an officer is to betray himself. I understand it's tough with your current abilities. Hermes walks him through the rules. Demons can claim rank through duels. You can no longer rely on my and Popo's names. This is challenging, I know, but for 1 month, I'll shield you. After that month, you must take down the opponent I select for you. If you triumph, I'll continue to guard you for another month until you reach the rank of battalion commander. Il can only gulp down his fears. What if I fail? Hermes smirks with malice. If possible, better die valiantly in battle. Il has no option but to acquiesce to Hermes. She even designated my opponent right there. Seems like I only have 30 days to survive. Il dejectedly steps out of the kitchen, intending to find something for Popo to eat. But upon reaching the door, he sees it smeared with blood. Hesitantly, Il peeks inside, ready to bolt at a moment's notice. Hey, sorry for the interruption. As soon as he utters those words, a red goblin turns around. He's the head chef, Culkin. You must be the human the commander mentioned. Il smiles and nods quickly, stating his mission is to fetch some food for Popo. To his surprise, the goblin bluntly replies that there's none available. This leaves Il in shock. I'm not obligated to assist you. The only command from Commander Hermes is that we can't hurt you. If you want meat, then you'll have to hunt yourself. Just like us, he motions to a group of goblins who are feasting on dismembered goblin body parts. Is this meat from Captain Puck? It tastes pretty good. Il is left in shock at the sight. These folks aren't cooks, they're demons. But in a bid to prevent Popo from becoming their dinner, he opts to join this pack of goblins to hunt outside. Unexpectedly, during the first hunt, Il faces lethal danger. Luckily, a group of goblins steps in to block the attack aimed at him. Staring at the not-quite-dead creature before him, Il is bewildered. Who's really the hunter here? At this instant, Rachel suddenly suggests they should flee while they're able. Il is on board with this plan, sensing that staying here would spell trouble soon enough. But just as he raises his foot to move, Culkin calls out to him, I'll lead the charge. No need. Culkin gives him a look since the hunt has concluded already. This astounds Il. He only paused for a few seconds, and they have already brought down this massive beast. Yet, despite their success, the goblins paid a hefty price. 13 dead and 25 seriously injured to conclude this hunt. But Culkin shows no remorse for such heavy losses and instead beams with satisfaction at the outcome. Let the team take a break and gear up for the next hunt. After a moment of reflection, Il throws out the idea of escaping. Really, my Mr. Hero? Are you actually going to hunt monsters with them? No, I don't need to do that. Il has come to a realization. As long as he takes part in the kills here, he can gain experience and level up. Even a light jab at the creature will suffice. As long as he lands the final blow, he'll reap all the experience. So, no need to exert myself. Rachel is left in shock upon hearing this. Is this guy genuinely a genius? But you're cutting corners. She doesn't want her hero to be this type of individual. But Il has made his choice. I must grow strong enough in this single month. After declaring this, he approaches Culkin, who seems to instantly see through his plan to escape. Human, music, I never thought you'd return. I've been here all along. Il quickly pretends to be clueless. Then he shares his eagerness to join the hunt. You, human, Culkin doesn't rush to give his verdict but fixes a penetrating gaze on him. This makes Ill's heart race. The previous officers appreciated my modest demeanor. Is this guy different? Yet, he's clearly overthinking. In the next moment, Culkin bursts into laughter. A human dares to say such bold words. How adorable. Ill scratches his head. It's all you're doing, chef. Dazed by the flattery, Culkin makes another call, allowing Ill to lead the team in hunting monsters. This leaves Ill dumbfounded. He merely wanted to hang back and soak up experience. No. How can a humble human like me stand before the grand demons? It will upset them. Just as they bicker, a frantic goblin rushes over from a distance, hastily updating Culkin. A pack of wild wolves is attacking, starkly contrasting the goblin's panic. Culkin seems remarkably calm. He grips the cleaver at his back. More fine meat for us, little ones. Let's go. Perfect. Ill smirks slightly. I just need to time my strike and deliver the final blow. I'll help you too, Mr. Hero. Rachel chimes in nearby, immediately casting a spell. This significantly boosts Ill's physical strength, though it sadly lasts just 3 minutes. Music. She thought this would gain her praise, but instead, she gets smacked with a fist the size of a sandbag. You had this, and didn't use it earlier. With the boost, Ill's confidence skyrockets. They're just 5 black wolves. Suddenly, he leaps up and strikes a dying black wolf on the ground. Level up, level up. Surprisingly, after snagging 1 kill, he instantly gains 4 whole levels. But just when Ill celebrates, he notices a goblin nearby, trying to finish off another wolf. So he shoves the goblin aside. My bad, I tripped. Gazing at the black wolves on the ground, Ill eagerly licks his lips. All the final strikes are mine. Under his lead, the 5 black wolves are quickly dispatched. Ill plans to leave immediately, but unexpectedly. At this moment, Culkin calls him back and announces it's time to feast. This is the chef's honor to relish the freshest delicacies. With that, music. He hands Ill a piece of meat. Since you contributed, maybe you should try some too. Staring at the bleeding raw meat in front of him, Ill feels a wave of resistance but can't refuse this generous offer, so he steers himself to take a bite. The meat is fine, but eating it raw and unseasoned is downright unappetizing. As Ill considers, inspiration suddenly hits. If he could whip up something more delectable, perhaps he could control them, so Ill wastes no time and immediately buys a bottle of MSG from the hero shop. This draws harsh disapproval from the goddess Rachel, who believes that hero points shouldn't be squandered on frivolous items like seasonings. Even if they think it tastes good, it won't make a huge difference. You need the broader view. Ill disregards music, her opinion, and instead grabs a piece of meat, starting to grill it, aiming to silence Rachel with the results. Just wait and see. With this technique, even a sneaker insole would become a gourmet delight. The instant he dusts on the seasoning over the juicy, medium-rare grilled meat, a surprisingly rich fragrance explodes into the air. I am the culinary king of this realm. Ill is immensely proud of his masterpiece. As soon as it's ready, he rushes it over to head chef Culkin, for the allure of freshly grilled meat is undeniable. But Culkin merely glances at it and politely declines without hesitation. No thanks, but I've had my fill already. Confronted with this, Ill remains undeterred. This is my finest creation. If you could grant me the honor of tasting it, I would have no regrets, even if it meant my end. Under his continued urging, Culkin finally softens, takes a piece of the grilled meat, and bites into it. But unexpectedly, that single bite whisks him back to his youth. It's the flavor of my mother. Culkin is incredibly pleased with the grilled meat. To show his gratitude, he offers Ill a hefty bag of fresh meat in return. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to seek me out again. Ill brings the fresh meat back to his room. Popo, I've returned. However, as soon as he speaks, Popo lunges at him with its mouth wide open. In a panic, Ill quickly whips out the fresh meat from the bag, finally managing to satisfy Popo's hunger. Buddy, feast to your heart's content. With the food supply secured, Ill no longer has to fear being Popo's dinner, and completely establishes his dominance as the master. After devouring 30 pounds of fresh meat, Popo's fondness for Ill skyrockets. Congrats on completing the quest. You successfully earned Popo's loyalty. Reward, 200 hero points. Finishing the quest gives Ill a significant confidence boost. Perfect. This went just as I envisioned. He quickly opens his status panel. But Rachel, observing from the side, is instantly shocked. Are you going to hoard those 22 free attribute points for another life or something? That's because a certain fool didn't explain what these points are for. Ill shoots back immediately, effectively quieting Rachel, since it's her job as his personal goddess, to enlighten Ill about everything in this world. Alright, Rachel says, and promptly starts explaining that attributes fall into 4 categories: strength, agility, stamina, and magic power. Wait, Ill interjects sharply as he notices a 5th category, charm. That one's unique. Through Rachel's breakdown, he discovers that charm is a concealed attribute, unattainable through vocation, only heightened through practice. However, looking closely, Ill notices his charm towards male monsters is surprisingly high. Rachel keeps elaborating. Physical attributes hold more significance early on, but it shifts dramatically in the later stages when magic power reigns supreme. He takes her advice and invests most of his points into physical attributes. Now you can head over to the hero's shop and buy the foundational principles of magic control. Rachel keeps detailing the lesson. It'll teach you how to harness magic power, and it only costs about 100 hero points. But Il searches the hero's shop again and again, only to be perplexed that this magic control guide is nowhere to be found. How can this be? I recall it being one of the most common items available in the hero's shop. Rachel looks utterly baffled. Il exhales deeply. He thought his personal goddess could finally show her worth, but maybe he was just overthinking it. No, I promise it's definitely in there. 3 weeks flew by like this. During this period, Il finally hit level 100. This took way longer than I anticipated. I must be the most dedicated hero in this realm. The relentless grind is leaving him in pain. What are you even saying? Aren't you basically a superstar now? Superstar? The mere mention of this sends Il into a rage, and he shoves Rachel to the ground. Do you even know how many near-death experiences I've had? But usually, it takes 6 months to reach level 100. I was only trying to be kind. No offense meant. Rachel looks hurt. You brought this on yourself. But just then, as the two are squabbling, the door swings open, and a goblin rushes in, panting. Beast Tamer Il, the commander wants to see you right now. Hearing the command, Il doesn't waste time and quickly heads to Hermes' office. His physical transformation stuns even Hermes. In under a month, Il's physique has clearly beefed up, and his magical strength has doubled. That's all from hustling to feed Popo. Il quickly tries to downplay it, but Hermes' keen eyes see right through it. Is it due to the hero system? He instantly starts to sweat cold. Does she realize I'm a hero? Hermes stands up and tells Il that from their first encounter, she saw through everything. The only reason she kept quiet was that he's highly favored by Lordran. And now there's an added reason to spare him. There's the duel coming up in a few days. Yes, Hermes nods. Then abruptly, a chilling aura erupts from her, transforming her into her true form as she lunges at Il. But when they're less than a meter apart, she halts immediately. If you don't want to see your end, work hard and make me proud. Alright. After saying that, Hermes sends Il back to his quarters. What will truly thrill the audience? Flashy displays or overwhelming power? Il keeps mulling over this question because if he fails to impress Hermes, it's game over. What do we do? What do we do? We're going to be toast. Rachel maintains her track record of being completely useless, providing no assistance at all. Give me a sec to think. Il opens the hero shop, convinced that knowing yourself and your enemy leads to victory. However, apart from the opponent's name, they know absolutely nothing else. Perfect. This is exactly what I need. Il doesn't hesitate to grab an item, a power gauge, which can help him assess his opponent's combat strength. Il directs the power gauge at Rachel, and it displays a combat power of 375 with no reference point. He's not sure what level this power represents. Let me check yours, Rachel proposes. She steps behind the power gauge and points it at Il, and the bizarre number instantly shocks her. This power gauge has to be malfunctioning, right? How can you possibly be stronger than me? Because it shows Il's power level at an astounding 1,560. What's the big deal? Anyone can see you're the weakest here, Il says as he takes back the power gauge. Rachel starts to tear up because prior to being transported here, her strength was over 10,000. To make sure the power gauge is legit, Il looks over at Popo. Let's see what this little guy's strength is. Holy cow. The moment he sees the number, Il is flabbergasted. 47,400. I can't believe we're both weaker than a dog. Are we sure he's even a purebred? After a moment of contemplation, Il decides to take the power gauge outside to check the levels of others. The weakest ones are the young goblins, while the majority seem to match his level. Yet, all those with commander ranks possess combat power that exceeds 10,000. You mentioned my opponent is a platoon leader, right? Rachel nods. His name is Iskin. I heard he's a half-orc with a pig's head. If he's just a platoon leader, Il figures his combat power should be around 3,000. If I level up now, I should still manage to take him on. But while the ideal looks bright, reality hits him hard. When Il sees the opponent's combat power, he instantly breaks into a cold sweat. This guy has over 6,000 combat power. Going against him would be insane. While still dazed, the hero system suddenly activates. Your chances of taking down that pig are almost non-existent. However, not surrendering in desperate times is your strength, which is why I'm presenting you with this opportunity. Boost your combat power to 3,000 within a week. Reward, 300 hero points. This quest comes at the perfect moment. Il smiles. Alright, no matter what happens, I'm in. Whether it's the Observer or Hermes, just wait for me. I'll make it to the end. The next morning, Il heads back to the kitchen where Kulkin is. Eyeing Il's power gauge, he can't help but ask, that's a fancy accessory. Where did you get it? Il shrugs. I noticed others had one, so I decided to get myself one too. Kulkin turns away. He can't grasp today's youth fashion sense, so he tells Il to prepare for hunting. Yes. While Kulkin's back is turned, Il quickly checks him with the power gauge, over 35,000. This isn't your average commander's level. No, it's not just him. Il quickly scans everyone in the kitchen, and their combat power is all significantly above that of regular soldiers. Is this what constant monster fighting does? Looking at the circumstances, an idea sparks in Il's mind. If he finds someone here with comparable combat power to spar with, wouldn't that reveal his true level? Commander Culkin, may I engage in a spar with one of the kitchen staff? Spar. Culkin looks surprised. Yes, I believe this kind of training will benefit my future. Culkin establishes a serious demeanor. He believes that Il, as a human, is already strong enough and shouldn't rush his training. Il feigns disappointment. What a pity. I brought some meat to grill as a thank you today, but it seems like we'll have to save it for another time. Il pretends to stuff the meat back in his backpack. Culkin grabs Il. Let's start now. Who do you want to face? Preparations for the sparring match quickly unfold. Il picks a beastman named Gorbacham as his opponent. The reason for this choice is straightforward. First, he's the same type of beastman as Culkin, and Gorbacham comes across as the least clever among the kitchen staff. However, his combat power is 2,500, almost double Il's. To be honest, he doubts his chances of winning. But I have to win. This beastman here is considerably weaker than Culkin. If I can't even defeat him, I stand no chance against Culkin. What's happening? Aren't we supposed to go hunting? Il and Gorbacham are gearing up to spar. The kitchen staff gathers around after catching wind of the news. Spar? What's that? A fight. How can you not get it? The kitchen staff gathers around after catching wind of the news. Spar? Music. What's that? A fight? How can you not get it? You mean we're really gonna clash? Is Il actually going to take a fall? The clueless kitchen warriors have a serious chat. If Il goes down, who's gonna handle the grill? We can't possibly live without our meat fix. Let's take Gorbacham out first. Now that's a plan. Just as the misfortunate Gorbacham is about to get sentenced to doom, Culkin jumps in to set things straight. Pipe down, you dimwits. Sparring isn't about knocking each other out, it's just a way to measure strength. The kitchen soldiers murmur while absorbing Culkin's words. Is it like arm wrestling? Tug of war, perhaps? Culkin shakes his head at their stupidity. Pay attention, Gorbacham. He just needs to ensure Gorbacham, Il's training partner, gets the message loud and clear. You can't take Il's life. You can engage in a fight, but don't go all out. Got it? You understand? Gorbacham nods blankly, scratching his head with an empty stare, looking utterly clueless. But don't hold back too much either. Just deliver a hit that makes him feel it. Got it? You heard me. Just don't break anything. Music sparring is quite the challenge. Once this is done, I'll reward you with extra meat, so give it your all. The moment Gorbacham hears the word meat, his eyes spark with excitement. Count on me, head chef. Suddenly, Gorbacham's all talk and steps up. Il, let's kick off our sparring. Alright, just take it easy on me. Gorbacham and Il face off, keeping a comfortable distance apart. Culkin takes on the role of referee and raises his arm. Ready? Go. As Culkin drops his arm, the match kicks off. Gorbacham gets into position. I don't want to really hurt him. Il is the one who handles the meat after all. I really don't want to damage him. Il charges at Gorbacham right from the get-go. Gorbacham lifts his arm, but even a light tap could smash his face. Unexpectedly, Gorbacham's fist whiffs past Il. It cuts through nothing but thin air. Meanwhile, he catches Il's leg coming in hot, hearing the whoosh of the air slicing past. A big shoe. The mudcake soul looms ever larger. I'm about to get music smashed. That's the last thought Gorbacham has. Not surprisingly, Il takes him down with just one swift kick. 2 hours later, the 3rd Legion arrives at the woods behind HQ. Even though no beasts have popped up yet, Il is buzzing with unusual excitement. Music. Honestly, he didn't think he'd win, but he just knocked out a beastman with double his power in an instant. Now he realizes combat power isn't everything, and he has a shot against Iceskin. Of course, Culkin is a whole different beast compared to today's Gorbacham, wielding a strength that rightly earns the monstrous title. Music. A huge number of young Terra have shown up ahead. Finally, the news Il's been waiting for hits. Really? So, this whole area belongs to the Terras? Culkin looks baffled. This doesn't add up. This region typically lacks Terra populations. Culkin, usually so sure, now seems a bit shaky. Il steps closer. Is there a problem? Is Tara music meat not so good? Nope. Terra meat's pretty tasty, especially that chewy bone marrow. It's a real treat. But Terras are social. If we aren't careful, they might come rushing out in droves, especially the mothers, the Terra Queen, with her fierce protective instincts. If we upset her offspring, we're in for a real mess. So, can we call it a day now? Il scratches his head and chuckles. Nope, since Taurus meat tastes great, we need to hunt them down. Kulen responds calmly. Either way, the Taurus Queen seldom ventures outside her lair, so we should be alright. He lifts his massive cleaver high. Everyone, charge. Today's feast is Taurus bone marrow. The kitchen soldiers let out a battle cry and surge forward. Watch yourselves. Capture them alive. Their fluids are the true essence. As the kitchen soldiers engage in combat, Il starts his show. He unintentionally sends a soldier flying, then snatches the final blow on the monsters. That final blow is mine. I need to level up. Il takes them down one by one, his levels soaring continuously. You're really skilled at stealing kills, hero. Absolutely. Il laughs with joy. At this pace, he'll definitely overtake Iskin soon. But in that moment, the ground suddenly starts shaking with a thunderous roar. What's happening? Il glances around in bewilderment. The kitchen soldiers are just as shocked, but soon, the source of the quakes quietly makes an entrance. it's the Taurus Queen. Her enormous form nearly eclipses the sky as she gazes at the pile of young Terra's bodies on the ground. The Queen's body quivers with fury. She seeks revenge on this group, desperate to make them pay with their lives. Il lifts his gaze. He intends to gauge just how formidable this queen is. Even Culkin fears her. But just as Il points the power gauge at her, it blares an alarm. It's immeasurable. Immeasurable? Culkin, what's our move now? Il turns only to find Culkin bolting away. What a disaster. Music. Let's try to hold on till fate brings us together again. Just stay alive. Il is stunned. What the heck? That irresponsible fool. In this tense moment, the Taurus Queen's legs launch at everyone like bullets. A swarm of goblins, caught off guard, are struck down instantly. But the Queen isn't finished. She lets out a roar that reverberates through the heavens, nearly rupturing Il's eardrums. Why is this thing making such a crazy sound? But before he can comprehend it, Rachel's voice unexpectedly rings in his ear. Hero, look behind you. Alerted, Il spins around and sees a nightmarish sight. A legion of young Terras rush toward him. Run! Il has no choice but to sprint alongside the main group. Those who lag behind are swiftly taken down by the Queen. Save me! Desperate cries echo throughout the crowd. But Il can't afford to think about that. He knows that if he stops, he's done for. He doesn't want to meet his end. After running for 10 minutes, Il finally locates a cave. It should be safe hiding in here, right? Rachel nods. Safe. Music. I double-checked. No monsters lurking inside. Though Il is skeptical of her claim, it's definitely safer in here than out in the wild. So, after a brief moment of thought, he steps inside anyway. The cave is deep and spacious, seemingly naturally formed. Doesn't that mean the music Taurus Queen can squeeze through here as well? Rachel's words chill Il to the bone. He quickly surveys the area and spots a puddle of green slime on the rocks. This can't be left by Terra, right? But Culkin assured, there are no terrors around here, so they venture deeper, only to confront an even more dreadful sight. The cave's depths are lined with countless Terra eggs. Is this the Taurus Queen's domain? Il stares at the shocking scene before him in disbelief. Music, we can't linger here. Yet, while he's lost in thought, a spike from the adult Taurus lunges towards him. Il swiftly ducks aside. Why on earth is there a grown Taurus here, too? With no time to ponder, he impulsively darts off in a random direction. Are you sure this way leads us out? Il stays silent. Rachel keeps sprinting, but in a split second, something unseen causes him to stumble. In a moment of panic, Il snatches an egg from the ground, aiming to use it as a weapon. He hurls it at the terrace with all his strength, and unsurprisingly, it snags it. However, the terrace cradles the egg gently, as though terrified it might shatter. What's happening? Il stares at the terrace, which has ceased its assault. Is it trying to safeguard that egg? Rachel pauses for a few seconds in silence. I think it adores what you just threw. It's covered in slime. Il glances at the eggs scattered on the ground, and an idea strikes him. Could these be the terrace's eggs? Il smirks, then picks up another egg. Instantly, the terrace tenses. He then readies himself to throw, aiming away from the creature. Yet the protective adult terrace still catches it. What insane speed! What's our next move? Il grins. Isn't it clear? I've got over 100 eggs here. More than 10 minutes later, the adult terrace is worn out and gasping. Yet, the majority of the eggs remained unprotected. Hurry, pass me the next egg. Il holds out his hand to Rachel. That was the last one. Hearing this, Elle's heart sinks. This is bad. The furious adult terrace unleashes its full fury and charges with incredible speed. Quick, buff me up. Rachel acts fast, and Il's arm glows a brilliant blue. That thing is weakened from catching eggs, so I can take it down. Il powers up and swings with all his force. Upon impact, the terrace's shell shatters cleanly, exposing pure white bone. I did it. Il stares at himself in shock. Hero, are you okay? As the buff fades, Il feels as though he might collapse. It hurts so much. Wait, I can cast a healing spell. Rachel announces as her hands shine with radiant light, and Il's injuries begin to mend slowly. Now, free of wounds, he swiftly allocates all the attribute points from leveling up. But just then, a familiar voice echoes from deep within the cave. Il looks up, startled, and it's Culkin. You're still alive. Naturally, Il feels a wave of embarrassment thinking of how he escaped. How did you get stuck here? I stumbled upon this cave while fleeing. We sure are lucky. Culkin chuckles with joy. However, Il then informs him this is the territory of the terrace. Those are their eggs. This area is their hatchery. Culkin gazes at the eggs with intense longing. These delicate eggs are premium ingredients. Most people never have the chance to savor them before dying. We need to get out of here. Il mutters a curse. Culkin grabs an egg, popping it into his mouth. The Terrace Queen pursuing me has likely already entered. To take her down, we require at least a command regiment's strength. So, let's indulge in this last meal. While the two squabble, sudden footsteps echo outside, and it's the kitchen soldiers. Is this truly my final feast? Il refuses to accept this fate, especially as he hasn't even found a wife in this world yet. My life can't end like this. Meanwhile, in Commander Hermes' office, she calls for Ludrin. No need for such formalities. How is the task I assigned you? Just as you instructed. I've successfully snagged the next saints. Music, I had faith all along. I knew you had it in you. In just about 3 weeks, Lordran has captured the Holy Empire's chosen saint test. Excellent job. Hermes gives Lordran an affectionate pat on the head. Yet at this moment, the door swings open abruptly. Commander, urgent news. The kitchen crew reported a mishap while gathering ingredients. Isn't that a daily occurrence? What's so shocking about it? Hermes narrows her lips. But this time, the casualties are substantial. They ran into the Tusk Queen. Most of the kitchen team, including head chef Culkin, are either gone or unaccounted for. Hermes strokes her chin in contemplation. And Il? He's also unaccounted for. Hearing this, Lordran goes stiff, struck with disbelief. Il's missing as well. Meanwhile, in the cave, Culkin and the kitchen crew are deep into munching on eggs. Il lets out a long sigh, then brings down a book hard on Kaken. The sudden pain jolts him awake. What on earth are you doing? You look like you're cursed, so I figured this would rouse you. Il concocts an excuse on the fly. Truthfully, he just can't stand seeing Culkin so downcast. As for the book he's holding, it's the Beast Encyclopedia Il swapped 50 hero points for at the shop. It includes details on nearly every demon beast, Terrace included. Music reveals they're spider-like demon beasts, social by nature, boasting highly developed leg muscles. To defeat Terrace, focus on their relatively vulnerable points, especially their torso and head. Their bodily fluids ignite easily, and their eggs hold a flammable liquid akin to a bomb. Caves crafted with Terrace saliva have low resistance to flames, so steer clear of fire magic inside. After reviewing their weaknesses, Il closes the tome. Culkin, can you wield fire magic? Khan turns his head. I can do basic stuff, like launch fireballs. He sighs in defeat. Forget it. The shell of a terrace isn't getting through with my level of flames. Il rolls his eyes. His intention isn't to set the terrace ablaze at all. Alright, everyone listen up. I have an escape plan. A goblin chef sighs. It's a pointless fight. Let's just enjoy our eggs. Faced with the situation, Il refuses to give in and keeps motivating them. If we manage to escape, not only will we have terrace eggs to devour, I'll even dish out unlimited gourmet grilled meat meals. Just the thought of that sizzling grilled meat reignites everyone's interest. Music, let's get moving now. Even Culkin immediately calls out to Il, salivating. What's our strategy? Moments later, he lays out his plan. We need to keep sprinting toward the exit. No matter what hits us, we can't stop. Let's go. The moment the words leave his lips, Il leads the charge, with everyone hot on his heels. Unfortunately, they only manage to run a short distance before crashing into a massive group of adult terras. Culkin, brace yourself. Il holds 2 eggs tightly, then hurls them hard against the wall beside them. Culkin simultaneously unleashes fire magic. The instant the terrace egg fluid hits the flames, a massive explosion, music goes off. The shockwave nearly topples the entire cave. To protect their remaining eggs, the adult terras have no choice but to halt their pursuit of Il and extinguish the blaze first. While they're sidetracked, run fast. Music. Everyone keeps sprinting, but the tricky terrain makes escaping impossible. Just 1 egg remains. We need to find the exit before it's gone, Il shouts. Rachel suddenly spots a glimmer in the distance. Over there, there's a light. That's the exit. Dodging the unending assaults of the adult terrace, Il bolts towards it. They swiftly draw nearer to the light. We're almost free. But just as they reach the threshold, Il freezes in shock as the overwhelming terrace queen emerges before them. Music. She completely blocks the cave entrance. We're done for. The Taurus Queen is back. Though her face is filled with fury, the Taurus Queen doesn't attack. He suspects this might be due to the egg he's clutching. Being creatures with fierce maternal instincts, terraces act without hesitation. Il rips a large piece of fabric from his sleeve and has Kulkan set it ablaze. He raises both the fabric and the egg high. If this egg detonates, we're all done for here. But at the same time, the cave will crumble, and all your young will be buried with us. Il yells. If you don't music want that, then step aside and let us leave. The Taurus Queen is filled with rage at these words. She wants to take Il out right then, but her instinct to shield her offspring holds her back. Not only does she refuse to budge, but she unleashes an ear-splitting scream that reverberates across the sky. With no other option, Il ignites the terrace egg. He hurls it fiercely into the cave. The terrace music egg erupts spectacularly upon impact with the wall. The entire cave shakes violently. Don't tell me it's going to collapse. Watching the massive stones plunge from above, Il realizes the cave's imminent collapse. Everyone, run. With that, Il bolts toward the cave exit. Yet right after rushing out, he abruptly halts because he suddenly hears the sound of him leveling up. Rachel looks puzzled and tries to drag him out, but she can't move him an inch. As the cave keeps falling apart, level up alerts ring out one after another. Il is completely taken aback. It seems all the terraces crushed to death here are granting me their experience. Could it be because I caused the collapse? Not wanting to linger, Il rushes outside. Getting past the Terrace Queen's blockade isn't easy, but he has no choice. Luckily at this moment, Culkin pulls out a valuable terrace egg from his stash. He gazes at it hesitantly. I'll use this egg to carve us a path out. But right after he speaks, the Taurus Queen's attack surges forward. Without a second thought, Il slides beneath the Queen and makes his escape. But just as he's about to break free, The terrace queen spits out silk from her mouth, ensnaring Il's arm. This is trouble. I might not make it. But at that moment, a deep crimson figure stands in his way. It's Lordran. Are you okay? Il is stunned. He can't fathom why Lordran is here. I knew you were still alive, Lordran grins. From now, music on. I'm in charge here. As he says this, a terrifying force radiates from him, obliterating the Taurus queen. This leaves Il in utter disbelief. Holy cow, he's incredibly powerful. The end result of this hunt led to 99 chefs going missing or losing their lives, including head chef Kulkin. After the skirmish settles down, Il finds himself back in Popo's room. Thank the heavens for that bullhead, or we'd be done for. Rachel exhales in relief after narrowly dodging death's grip. However, Il soon brings her back to reality. Enjoy the fleeting bliss while it lasts. Music, we're on the brink of disaster. My showdown with Kulkin is about to begin. Rachel isn't on board with that. Haven't you already evolved significantly? You snagged a whopping 75 levels from this cave collapse. Il's hit level 200, but he's still rocking only 30,500 battle power, while his adversary boasts a full 6,000. Il, however, has contemplated things. Winning a fight isn't merely about power. His match with Gorbachum serves as a prime example. Rachel gives a nod of understanding. Precisely. Music. Combat isn't only about brute force, it's about magic too. To take down an opponent of that caliber, mastering magic is essential. Unfortunately, Il completely lacks that knowledge. Easy for you to say, Rachel responds, shifting her tone. It seems you had some knack for magic back at the Taurus hatchery. Il is left confused by her words. Did I ever use magic? Could it have been then? Just as he is enveloped in thought, Lordran barges in, causing Il to jump a little. Sir, what brings you to our humble abode? Lordran lays out his intentions. He needs to take Il to meet Commander Hermes. With Lordran leading the way, the two swiftly make their way to Hermes' office. What's the reason for your visit, Lordran? You usually don't drop by on your own. Without wasting time, Lordran gets right to the heart of the matter. Commander, allow me to train Il personally. Ken is a platoon leader, but I've recently realized his true strength suits him better as deputy battalion commander. Hence, Lordran believes this battle isn't at all fair for Il. Let me train Il. I can help him unleash his maximum potential. Il is left utterly gobsmacked. Why would he want to do this? Then he silently wishes that Hermes will refuse. To his surprise, Hermes agrees without a moment's thought. Thank you, sir. If you have nothing music else to discuss, then please leave. With no recourse, Il can't object. Thank you immensely, my esteemed commander. We'll take our leave. After they exit, Hermes smirks, since in just a few short days, Il's power has doubled. It's quite fascinating how swiftly a human can evolve. But it does cause me some concern. If Lordran aids him, Kulkin might actually face defeat. I absolutely cannot allow this. Hermes has already devised a perfect scheme. Meanwhile, Lordran and Il rapidly arrive at the training grounds. This is my exclusive training area. Il is taken aback. Hermes granted him access to his own private training ground. She must hold this guy in high regard. Lordran halts and fixes his gaze deeply onto Il. He realizes that Il packs significant magical power, but still lacks the ability to harness it. Lordran's scrutiny makes Il anxious. He has no clue what this guy wants. It's wise to start with the basics, but the duel is in merely 4 days. We're short on time. Lordran suddenly spins around and tightens his fist. He decides to push Il to his limits to unlock his hidden potential. Growth comes with pain. Il can't react in time as Lordran lands a heavy punch. What is this guy doing? Has he lost his sanity? Didn't he promise to train me? Why is he suddenly throwing punches at me? He chooses to test Il to the max, aiming to unleash his true potential. Suffering is part of the journey. Il is caught off guard and receives a brutal blow from Lordran's powerful punch. What is this dude thinking? Has he completely lost it? Didn't he promise to train me? Why is he all of a sudden throwing punches at me? Without skipping a beat, Lordran tightens his fist and closes in quickly. Channel all your energy into defense, or you're as good as dead. Il heeds the warning and raises his arms for protection, but the sheer force from his opponent sends him hurtling several meters back. Oddly enough, his physical strength is lacking, yet his reaction time and instincts are sharp. His mental fortitude is off the charts. Lordran ponders that their initial encounter, when he didn't evade Il's kick, was no fluke. This guy brings a wealth of combat experience to the table. Lordran dashes toward Il. That wager you made with Commander Hermes. Without mana, there's no chance you can take down Kulkin. Better to meet your end here than to humiliate yourself in front of everyone. With a powerful blow, Lordran sends Il flying once more. He's not kidding. One more hit like that could truly end me. Lordran tightens his fist, gearing up for another heavy strike. He's convinced Il can tap into his mana. Damn it. Here it comes. I refuse to die. I haven't even found a wife in this realm. Il also adjusts his stance and charges at Lordran. All of a sudden, a bright blue mana starts to swirl around his hand. Their strikes collide at the same instant. The clash of their mana creates an enormous shockwave that rattles the ground. After this impact, Il is utterly drained and crashes to the floor. Lordran strides over. Did you see that? You just utilized mana. Despite his condition, Il manages a thumbs up and compliments him. It's because you trained me so well, sir. Lordran shakes his hand. Good. If you keep this up, you definitely have a shot at victory. Ludrin begins to mend Ill's injuries, but just as his magic flows into Il suddenly gasps, his eyes wide in shock as a surge of pain courses through him. Damn it. Il coughs up blood while gasping for air. This is trouble. I forgot you're human. Ludrin's eyes go wide in horror. Dark magic acts like a fatal toxin to humans. He immediately starts to apologize profusely, lifting Il in his arms. In this dire moment, only the Saint Tess can possibly save him. The forces in this world counterbalance one another. Dark magic negates magic. Magic negates holy power, and holy power counters dark magic. Magic is a gift for humans. Dark magic belongs to demons. Holy power is tied to those who follow the divine. Among these is the famed Holy Gatlin Empire, where the voices of the gods can be heard. Within the empire, the most remarkable individuals are chosen to become the saints. In the 3rd Legion headquarters of the demon army, there's a human woman locked in a deep cell. Her silver hair cascades down to her waist. Snow-white skin and silver eyes to match her hair. Her delicate beauty could leave anyone breathless. Yet, for some reason, her eyes look lifeless, void of any spirit. Her name is Ablison Marriott, the future saint of the Gatlin Holy Empire. After being abducted by Ludrin recently, she has been imprisoned ever since. She hasn't prayed to God for many days. To become a saint, one must be able to hear the voice of God. Though she can hear it, she hasn't sought God while here. She knows that no matter what she does, it would all be in vain. Just as Ablison is engulfed in her thoughts, the door to her room creaks open unexpectedly. It's the Crimson Nightmare, Ludrin. His breaths are heavy, clearly having sprinted here in desperation. Ablison notices his frantic expression and feels perplexed by the cold, calculating Crimson Nightmare. Ludrin usually keeps his emotions tightly under wraps. What's going on? You have to save this human. Ludin cries out in panic. Il has already lost consciousness. His head feels like it's about to burst. Il slowly recalls those final moments. He remembers getting smashed by Ludrin and crashing to the ground. Damn it, am I really kicking the bucket while holding a dude's hand? Il is filled with discontent. No way should he die without at least holding a woman's hand. Even Rachel would suffice. As music, he muses this. Il suddenly senses a warm energy. He carefully opens his eyes and spots a goddess before him. She has shimmering silver hair and eyes to match. The goddess remains silent, her face expressionless. Surely I must be dead and back in that place, gearing up for a new life. Il fixates on this thought. Goddess, I'll never forgive you, and I'll send Rachel straight to the underworld. She's just a demon sporting a goddess facade. If you think you can turn me into a hero again, you'd better propose first. The saint listens and a flicker of sadness crosses her face. How tragic for you. Did you really perish alone in both lives? Before Il can revel in the Saint Tess's sweet voice, Ludrin bursts through. You're finally awake. He wraps his arms around Il, tears welling in his eyes. The immense pressure feels like it might crush Il into oblivion. At this rate, I'm done for again. Ludrin quickly releases Il. After a few moments of shock, Il holds his breath and scans his surroundings. The goddess remains in sight. Is she not a divine being, but a real person? Oh no, what did I just blurt to her? Has he fully healed? Ludrin questions the saint urgently. Ablison shakes her head. That's still uncertain. As you've noticed, the dark magic hasn't entirely left his system. I have no clue what will happen next. Ludrin stands speechless for a few moments. Music, even your holy energy can't get rid of it. This might be temporary. Over time, the dark magic could fade away naturally, so let's keep an eye on things. Ablison speaks steadily. I apologize. I'll figure out a way to make this right through training. Ludrin grips Il tightly. No, sir. You don't need to treat a subordinate this way. Before Il can finish his sentence, Ludrin scoops him up and exits the room. The saint left behind looks baffled. That demon is actually training a human. Who is he, really? Stepping out from the saint's chamber, Il declines the training under the pretense of needing to feed Papo. Thanks for rescuing me from that, Papo. I heard you already devoured a soldier who came to feed you, so you shouldn't be starving again today, right? Even though Il doesn't have to worry about Ludrin taking him out in training now, dark magic still lingers within him. This shouldn't be a huge issue, right? It won't kill me. Il states this while gazing at Rachel. He sees her on the floor, tears streaming down her face because she overheard everything. Il confessed to Ablison. She never imagined her hero would wish her to the depths of hell. Yes, this is all on me. The dark magic in your system and you almost music meeting your end. It's all my fault, because I'm a goddess in a demon's disguise. I deserve to suffer eternally in the underworld. Il suddenly realizes he might have gone too far with his words. He approaches Rachel to comfort her. It's okay. Rachel, stop being angry. I can't survive without you, my muscle factory. Just shut it. I really don't want to hear your voice. The clock ticks to the next day. Il arrives at Ludrin's secret training spot as usual, only to get pounded nearly to a pulp. Naturally, the Saints Ablison take on the role of Il's personal medic. Appreciate you patching me up. Before the duel tomorrow, I have to ask you something. Il scratches his head bashfully. Can you pray that I make it through tomorrow? Also, if you can, I'd love for you to come and watch the duel tomorrow. Without missing a beat, the day of the duel is upon them. Due to the grueling training, Il's body is sore all over, yet he's feeling oddly serene. In other words, he's grown stronger. However, those watching don't hold high hopes since humans are naturally at a physical disadvantage against demons. Music Ludrin, who do you think will come out on top? Hermes asks from the audience. Il, he responds. He's got exceptional talent and has gone through intense training, Ludrin says without a second thought. So, do you want to wager? If you win, you can keep training him. Hermes isn't impressed with Il. If you lose, I want you to take him down yourself. You claim to believe in him, so you run that risk? Hermes insists. Got it. Ludrin agrees but feels a pit of anxiety. He desperately doesn't want Il to perish. I can win. Il bows his head as he reflects on mastering a new skill under Ludrin's guidance, the Ludrin combat technique. It's a dynamic martial art made up of 10 boxing styles evolved from the fighting traditions of Ludrin's lineage. It aims for overpowering force to take down opponents. While his skill isn't top-notch yet, Il's physical strength has significantly escalated through training. I must win music. Because the silver-haired Saint Tess is watching. Just as Il gets lost in thought, his opponent, the beastman Music, Culkin, makes his entrance. The dark energy radiating from him swells immensely in no time, closely resembling Hermes's aura. At Music, this moment, Ludrin spots the ominous energy around Culkin and stands up, anxious. You can't bail. Got it? Hermes grins. Soon, the duel kicks off officially. Black misty tendrils spill from Culkin with a roar. His magical voice booms across the terrain. At this point, Music, his power skyrockets to a spine-chilling 10,573. What the heck? That's a huge leap in just days. Il is utterly dumbfounded. What he doesn't realize is that this surge is all thanks to Hermes. I won't give in. Il tightens his fist and rushes at Culkin. But just as he reaches him, Culkin swings his massive iron club, charging forward with overwhelming force, leaving a significant crack in the ground. Il twists swiftly to dodge the blow, then strikes at Culkin from a different angle. His fist directly connects with Culkin's face. However, it's nowhere near lethal, so Il throws another punch with his other hand. But he's taken aback as Culkin barely flinches from the impact. In response, Culkin swings his iron club for a counter, nearly slamming into Il's left arm. After evading the strike, Il gazes up at Culkin. Other than a bit of blood, he seems utterly unscathed. Before Il can even think twice, Culkin lunges forward at lightning speed. Music. But to Il, these movements are all too predictable. Thanks to Ludrin's training, he's able to effortlessly read his opponent's every maneuver. Don't panic. Il recalls the wisdom he's gained. Mastering combat means blending fighting techniques with mana. This combo significantly amplifies the damage of your strikes. Combat isn't purely about brute strength. More crucially, music. It's all about wielding the skills necessary to take down your foe. Ludrin mentioned that Il can utilize the techniques he's learned because he lacks the intent to kill. Thus, those attacks are ineffective. The realization dawns on him. Aim to kill. Il grits his teeth. A brilliant blue glow radiates from his hand. Regardless of who faces me, I will take them down. Il's mana-infused combat technique lands squarely on Culkin's midsection. The forceful shockwave blasts right through Music him, trembling the very earth beneath them. As the smoke clears, the injured Culkin slowly comes into view. A massive hole is blasted through his heart by Il. Today's victor is the once weak human, Il. Hearing the announcer declare the battle's outcome, Il weakly collapses to the ground. That blow drained nearly all his mana. I did it. I pierced right through his heart. But just as the crowd believes the match is over, spiderweb-like filaments begin oozing from Culkin's wound, gradually sealing the great gash in his body. This strange and chilling power seems unimaginable for a creature like Culkin to possess. He's not dead, even with his heart wrecked. How can that be? It must be the work of Hermes. Il starts to piece it together. He cast a dark magic immortality curse on Culkin. Ludrin can't help but sweat for Il, while Hermes wears a satisfied smirk. He mastered this combat style in such a short time. His talent is remarkable, however, I foresaw this. In mere moments, Culkin is back on his feet. What the heck? A curse? Rachel is bewildered. But if it's a curse, this won't last long. Culkin charges at him, drooling. Il studies his opponent's moves and realizes they remain unchanged. These strikes are far too easy to evade. Yet, just as he prepares to dodge, his legs suddenly give out at this crucial moment. Unable to escape in time, Il is slammed against the wall like a bullet fired. Forced to grip his arm, he twists it with all his strength. Yet despite the sound of bones cracking, Culkin seems completely unfazed. He hurls Il away with such force that his consciousness flickers. Damn music it, I feel the agony of shattered bones throughout my body. Stand up, you got this. From the stands, Absin rarely speaks to Il. That's right, it's not finished yet. Motivated, Il forces himself upright, trembling. I absolutely can't humiliate myself in front of the girl I invited. We haven't even been on a date yet. As Il declares this, a tremendous surge of mana bursts from his body. If my bones are broken, I'll shield them with mana-imbued armor. With this mana enhancement, Il springs back into action. He leaps high into the air, then channels all his mana into both hands. Die. Il's strike crashes down hard onto Culkin's head, nearly caving in his skull. Yet, Culkin refuses to perish. A sinister black mist erupts from his form once more. Il gazes at Culkin with an eerie calmness. His mind is set solely on winning the day. Il raises his hand. This is what I do. Let's go. You muscle-headed brute. As Il speaks, he lands another punch on Culkin's head. Did you train him to control mana like that? Hermes questions Lordran with skepticism but receives a flat rejection. Instantly, she feels a wave of anxiety wash over her. So we have to tread carefully. He's a beast. Hearing that from her carries the weight of a legion leader. For her, aside from the Demon King, no one dares to challenge her supremacy. The duel is swiftly declared over. When Il wakes up, he finds himself back in Papo's quarters. How did the duel end? Il doesn't remember the final outcome. All he recalls is dishing out punishment to Culkin. You triumphed, and then Saint Hess tended to your wounds. Upon hearing Rachel's words, Il swiftly opens his hero interface. He realizes that after that clash, he leveled up 12 times and his attributes have surged astonishingly. He even unlocked a brand new skill named Mana Control, Music. Yet, not even the well-versed goddess Rachel has come across this skill. It's expected you haven't seen it. Il can't help but express his frustration. What do you mean? It's because this skill is uncommon. Okay, not due to my ignorance. While the two spar, Il spots a small note beside him. Meanwhile, Saint Tess, who healed Il, retreats to her room. She glances outside. That guy is exceptionally odd. Mastering mana in just 3 days and even acquiring proficient combat skills would typically take other knights at least a month. He possesses immense potential. Absinthe rubs her hands together. She prayed to the heavens a few days prior. Perhaps this is divine intervention for me. Or maybe it's Il's own gifts, but it doesn't matter anymore. He won that duel anyway. Perhaps he's the one I've been searching for. Absinthe remarks as she approaches the door. Then she knocks. Saint Tess, what do you need? Absinthe bites her lip. I want to request a favor. I'd like to take a stroll. At this moment in Papo's room, Il unfolds the note. It's actually from Saint Tess. She's inviting him to walk with her in the back garden. Il shudders with excitement. Without delay, he heads straight to the arranged spot. Should I ask for her contact info first, or should we swap messages? Coming out this late makes Rachel quite upset. Don't be foolish. She's just toying with you. Let's head back. Yet, as soon as she finishes her words, Il anxiously grabs her arm, sensing movement nearby. Turning his head, he sees it's Absinthe, accompanied by 2 minotaurs. This puts Il in a foul mood. He thought he was on a romantic outing with Saint Tess. They are my guards. I can't roam about alone. After hearing Absinthe's explanation, Il realizes that Saint Tess is under the watch of the demon army. Let's at least take a walk. Under the watchful gaze of the 2 minotaurs, Il feels too anxious to speak. You're a hero, right? Absinthe music turns her head. Il is momentarily stunned but nods. How did you figure that out? In our world, only demons or heroes sport black hair. Your showing in yesterday's duel was commendable, so I have faith you're indeed a hero. Il blushes at the flattery and chuckles awkwardly. Can I ask you something in return? What do you think of me as a person? Is greater than music? A look of utter bewilderment crosses Absinthe's face. It's a rare emotional shift for her. What in the world is this guy saying? Just as the tension reaches its peak, Ludran's voice breaks through from afar. His arrival shatters the awkwardness. Ah, there you are. The Legion commander is asking for you. This really is out of nowhere. The day Il meticulously planned is abruptly cut short. In an instant, he's whisked away by Ludran to Hermes' office. Nicely done. Hermes lounges on the desk, looking directly at Il. I've watched this duel unfold quite clearly. Your recent feats are quite remarkable. Hermes flicks her finger playfully. Do you recall the offer I made to you? Il quickly nods. Yes, you mentioned that I should fight opponents you select in exchange for your protection during that time. Exactly. Then Hermes carries on. You said I should step up to be a demon officer and work here. Hermes nods, clearly pleased. Now I'm revealing that was merely music, a pretext. I assumed you wouldn't last long, but my perspective has shifted. She gestures towards Lordran. You claimed he would make a fine demon officer. So this time, I think we should attempt something different, not music dueling. Hermes steps off the desk and saunters closer. You see, our unit operates an independent cooking division. This time, the cooking division suffered heavy losses, so the music team isn't getting decent meals. Therefore, starting today, you're taking charge of this unit. I'll grant you the authority to recruit culinary soldiers as needed. Can you handle it? Il realizes he has no choice. Leave it to me. Congratulations on your new rank. You're now a company commander, Rachel teases. A human hero just became an officer over demon soldiers. Are you thrilled now? Yes, this sensation is unreal. Il doesn't baby her. The two squabble all the way to the Legion kitchen, but when Il flings the door open, he hears the sound of greedy munching from within. Glancing down, he spots a cooking soldier devouring something greedily. The soldier recognizes Il. Oh, it's that barbecue slave. Slave. Il instantly loses his cool at that mocking term. He drags his numb foot forward. Friend, you've got it wrong. From today onward, music, I'm the head chef supervisor. With that, Il brutally kicks him in the face. After expressing his frustration, Il gathers all the soldiers in the kitchen. The warriors here typically have a power level around 2,000, with the strongest at 30,500. Observing them, Music ill suddenly grapples with a major question. Why are there so few kitchen soldiers remaining? Shouldn't there be 300 to 500? Now, there aren't even 30. Yet, Il knows he can't defy Hermes's orders or face dire consequences. Il masks his irritation. Does anyone know who I am? A cheeky one raises his hand. He's a tasty human. As soon as he speaks, Il violently kicks him against the wall. That's right. I'm a tasty human, you dimwit. Il pulls out the appointment letter Hermes bestowed upon him. The commander has appointed me as the head supervisor of the kitchen unit. From this moment on, you will treat me like royalty. Now, can anyone explain why the numbers are so low here? A soldier raises his hand. They all went hunting and were slaughtered by magical beasts. Upon hearing this, Il remained surprisingly unfazed because the strongest chef Kulkin had already perished while facing the terrorist queen. Naturally, these leftover outcasts can't handle fierce monsters. Who's the strongest among you currently? That would be Gurumu. Everyone immediately points without a second thought at the guy I pummeled earlier. His combat prowess is just too impressive. I'll name him as the deputy kitchen chief. Alright, everyone's dismissed unless there's something else. I settle into the corner by myself. I believe the kitchen needs at least 200 staff. There's only one way to achieve that. The next morning at dawn, I head out with Popo. I already have a solid strategy for recruiting soldiers, using Popo as a threat to potential foes. Music. Either join the kitchen brigade or face Popo's wrath. Let's kick things off with that. I land a direct kick on a soldier's face. With a power level of only 1931, this one appears to be an easy target. Hey, little mole. You interested in joining our kitchen crew? What, mole? The soldier glances around and points at himself. Yes, mole. I'm talking to you. I deliver another vicious kick. The mole guy slumps down, looking hurt. Why? Music, why? You're striking me without even waiting for my reply. You're the first recruit today. Do you understand what that implies? My size. It means you'll have a leg up on those who join later. You can throw your weight around or find a scapegoat for your mess. Take the music blame? The mole guy looks bewildered. His limited smarts can't process that far ahead. Yes, go gather your buddies. For every 10 people that sign up, I'll throw you a subordinate. My plan seems flawless. I might just gather enough troops to form a division. However, he doesn't realize that this mole guy is from the independent battalion. This news swiftly reaches the battalion commander, the demon Doris. Commander, music, we've got a situation. Our battalion is running low on soldiers. Why? Doris delicately picks up a handkerchief. Did they defect? Have soldiers vanished en masse? He doesn't believe he has treated them poorly enough to drive them away. They haven't run away. They've all been enlisted as cooks. I see. Doris exhales deeply. He reclines in his chair. Recruiting kitchen soldiers is routine. I'll generously overlook this. Tell them to be more cautious next time. Doris has no desire to engage with this issue. No, we need to address this seriously. The soldier cries out, his voice trembling. He's already taken 200 of our soldiers. Upon hearing that number, the composed Doris completely loses it. Meanwhile, I'm still on the hunt for kitchen recruits. We've already amassed over 200 cooks. Should we wrap up recruitment? As soon as I mention this, I feel something's off. A quick glance tells me I'm in deep trouble. Didn't I tell them to bring one comrade? Why on earth did this guy show up with a pig? Something's definitely not right. I check the power gauge and freeze in terror. We're finished. I measure. This guy's power level exceeds 50,000. Let's quietly end this and bail. But I barely get 2 steps before Doris calls me back, forcing me to turn and plaster on a calm smile. Yes, sir. What brings you here? Doris reveals himself as the commander of the 3rd Legion's independent battalion, then starts questioning me. What brings me here? Don't you know? What are you thinking? He points toward the soldiers I just recruited. Why did you take half my battalion's soldiers? I'm taken aback. I never anticipated these guys all hail from the same battalion. Let me clarify, sir. Damn, no wonder this was so easy. Moments later, Il is ushered into the office by Doris. Are you seriously claiming this was unintentional? Il eagerly nods and starts buttering him up. Absolutely, sir. I chose only the most gallant soldiers, but coincidentally, they all hail from your battalion. Upon hearing this, music Doris internally beams with delight. Commander Hermes appreciates this kid, so I might as well keep it cool. With that thought, he instantly dons a cheerful grin. Since this is your method of selection, we can only go with it. Is this really okay? Il is ecstatic, but he senses complications ahead. Sure enough, in the next instant, Doris' music cuts in. But I have one little condition. Snag another soldier from our battalion, and we're all set. Il can't shake off the feeling that Doris wants to offload some useless bum on him. What's the deal you won't budge on? Sensing Il's hesitation, Doris's menacing aura starts to seep through. Oh, I'm just overjoyed. Il bolts from the office without a backward glance. Just make sure to introduce them to me later. Shortly after, Il re-enters his office, and suddenly, the door bursts open. A colossal figure looms in. His name's Azulu, a combo of ogre and half-orc. Il looks up, feeling the sheer power radiating from him. This guy seems a bit dense, but he's incredibly formidable. I need to put music him to good use. The next day, Il rounds up all the kitchen soldiers again. Let me reintroduce myself. I'm Papo's keeper and head chef. Il goes on to unveil his plan for reorganizing the department. He drafts a roster and instructs them to align based on their designated roles. Il notices, while these beastmen share similar intelligence, their power levels are vastly different, so he sorts them based on strength, assigning the weaker ones kitchen tasks and deploying the stronger ones for hunting. A few moments later, they form 2 lines per Il's instruction. On the right, the cooking squad forms. On the left, the combat squad. No objections, right? But just as Il finishes his words, a soldier raises his hand. I object. Music, I want to hunt too. I crave fresh meat. The voice belongs to a surprisingly petite beastman. Il chortles awkwardly, then beckons with a finger. Step forward. The lanky soldier, confused, hesitantly approaches. Il swiftly kicks him hard, sending him soaring. You want to go? Prove yourself first. Clearly, you didn't make the cut. Following this, Il receives a notification from the hero system. With outstanding leadership, you've successfully reorganized and stabilized the troops. Hidden attribute charisma increased. Music, commandability level raised. Il gasps in surprise. This is a totally unanticipated reward. Anyone else has issues? Il raises his fist. If not, music combat squad, grab your gear and let's roll. It's time to hunt. Under Il's command, the combat squad ventures into the northern forest. But bizarrely, there's not a single beast in sight. Could it be that Papo or Azulu are just too powerful and scare off any potential foes? Rachel suggests. Il concurs. Yet, he can't afford to leave them behind. Just then, music, Rachel snaps her fingers as if an idea strikes her. She turns to Il with a mischievous grin. Then, let's use them as bait. Goodness, this girl really is a schemer. Il circles around and picks 5 soldiers to act as bait. Lottery numbers he salvaged from Earth. With tears welling up, Il instructs Azulu to toss out the soldiers whose numbers get called. Number 14. Launch the intercontinental ballistic missile fire. Il commands Azulu to eject the soldiers when their numbers are called. Number 14. Initiate intercontinental ballistic missile launch. Using the weak as bait should definitely draw the prey in, right? Il assures that his men won't forget to light torches while pretending otherwise. This way, the bait soldiers will notice the smoke and return. Just tossing them like that? Are you really confident they'll make it back alive? Doubt floods Rachel's expression, but Il smirks with a sinister glee. At least 1 out of 6 will return, Azulu included. Everyone watching believes Il has lost his mind. We're surely doomed if we proceed. But just as they contemplate escaping, they turn to find Papo, who got the order, already lurking behind them. Although he appears concerned, Il is surprisingly composed. Either follow my orders or prepare to be Papo's lunch. Unsurprisingly, the unfortunate soldiers all opt for the first choice. After all, a chance of survival is better than certain demise. Sure enough, after some time, the bait soldiers return with several beasts in tow. Let the soldiers manage them. I just need the finishing blow before Il can even finish his sentence. As Olu bellows and charges in, he swings his weapon and unleashes a brutal assault. What kind of strength is this? Il is taken aback. With a single strike, Azalu obliterates the colossal beast. Popo does the same, swiftly taking it down as well. How am I even supposed to work with this? Not only did I miss the finishing blow, but the meat is completely wrecked, too. Tomorrow, there's no way I'm bringing these 2. I'm out. See you all tomorrow. Shortly after retreating to his quarters, Il storms into the kitchen. After stewing in his emotions, he kicks the door open with a bang. Are you slacking off again? Is dinner ready? The deputy head chef rushes over. We're on it, but today's meat is a tad. Il's face darkens. A true craftsman doesn't whine about his tools. Yes, sir, I'll get to it right away. Even as he says this, Il knows very well that with these cook's skills, even stray dogs would turn away in disgust. But it's alright. Il has already devised a plan. Ordinary soldiers will eat the cook's meals. Only battalion commanders and higher earn the privilege of his cooking. This not only alleviates the production shortfall, but also wins favor from the upper brass. After preparing the roast, Il swiftly seeks out Ablison because she aided him tremendously in that fight. He wants to show his appreciation with a succulent roast. Thank you. Just a small piece for me. Ablison pierces a chunk of roast, and the rich aroma fills the air. The scent exceeds her expectations. The moment she tastes it, she's completely blown away. This is the most delicious dish she's had in the Demon Lord's dark castle. So good. Soon, Ablison devours the entire roast. Afterward, Il lifts the plate to leave, but suddenly, Ablison speaks up. She asks Il if he has any dreams after leaving the Demon Lord's castle, like getting married and having kids. Il blurts it out, but Ablison freezes upon hearing it. She anticipated a hero would aim for loftier goals. I see, you may go. It doesn't have to be the village chief's daughter. Il bashfully curls his finger. Then, he throws the same question back at Ablison. Me? I don't wish for anything. After a long pause, she answers calmly. Meanwhile, in the Gatlin Empire, a subordinate rushes in, panicked. We found Saint Tess Ablison. She is imprisoned in the Black Castle. With Hermes the insatiable eater lurking, the Empire hesitates to deploy troops too recklessly. Music. Throughout human history, The Black Castle has only fallen 3 times, and each of those occasions was marked by Hermes' absence. After some deep thought, the Pope devises the perfect plan: gather our heroes and dispatch them as a covert rescue squad. The following day, Il gathers the soldiers bright and early for a hunt. But Absin's words, "I don't want to do anything," echo in his mind. Why would music feel that way? With this pondering, Il embarks on today's hunt. Venturing deeper into the woods, he lifts his hand to signal the team to halt, then instructs all squad leaders to step forward. 10 squad leaders, totaling 10 individuals. They nervously glance at Il's face. What's on his agenda today? Luckily, Azalu is absent, so he probably won't engage in that reckless stunt of hurling soldiers into the woods. Surprisingly, Il shows generosity today, pulling out several hefty chunks of seasoned roast from his backpack. Everyone grab a bite. What are you waiting for? I insist you eat. If not, you'll end up feeding Papo. We'll music feast. The squad leaders, filled with emotion, stuff the meat into their mouths. These rugged men devour massive chunks of meat in under a minute. Chef, what is this? It tastes incredible. The squad leader's eyes well up, tears streaming down his face. Choosing the kitchen troops was the right call. The head chef's such a legendary figure. We'll truly strive hard from now on. Give us another piece. The squad leaders shout with excitement, cheeks flushed, but Il lifts his index finger and gently waves it. The gourmet tasting is finished. Now the real game begins. Go capture beasts alive. The squad that nets the most will dine with me tonight. Still loafing around? Move. As Il's words echo, a fiery contest for meat is about to commence, as everyone yearns for that tantalizing roast again. The squad leaders charge forward. H. All creatures are enslaved by their cravings. During today's music hunt, Il elevates his level to 224. Chef, which squad took the crown today? Il turns around and announces the Wild Wolf squad as the victors of this hunt. They earn the chance to feast on roast. The losers will simply need to hope for better luck next time. Meanwhile, music. Within the Black Castle, countless demon soldiers lie sprawled in pools of blood. All have fallen into the hands of one individual. Moments later, music. That individual reaches the chamber where St. Absin is held captive. He then pulls back his hood. St. Absin, I'm here to rescue you. This person is the rescue team dispatched by the Pope, a hero lurking in the shadows of the Holy Empire, Oseld Geffen. Unexpectedly, after outlining his music intentions, he's met with Absin's refusal, who concurrently insists he depart. Geffen grins sheepishly as he slowly approaches Absin, asserting that this mission is his duty and he must see it through. Yet, Absin continues to reject him, mentioning the insatiable eater Hermes. If you don't leave, I'll use holy power to alert her. But before she finishes, Geffen delivers a heavy punch straight to Absin's abdomen. Sleep tight. When you awaken, you'll find yourself in the Empire. Absin feels a tight grip around him as a wave of dizziness washes over him. How can he wield holy power? No, I cannot return there. Just as Absin's about to lose consciousness, a fist the size of a sandbag crashes hard into Geffen's face. Get your filthy hands off her, you jerk. That's just sick. This punch takes almost all of his strength, yet Geffen stands utterly unfazed. A dude radiating dark magic. That's intriguing, but you seem more human on the outside, Geffen mocks. Nice music. Moves, but your magic power is still weak. Before he finishes, Il strikes once more, a whirlwind of music, packed with strong magic. Il's movements exceed Geffen's expectations. This piques Geffen's interest in Il, wanting to take him back to the Empire too. Geffen blocks the strike and retaliates. The overwhelming force sends blood gushing from Il's mouth, knocking him out instantly. Did he just die? Maybe the sudden fury caused Geffen to lose control of his strength. Rachel, hiding close by, is instantly shocked by what she sees. He took down my hero in one blow. I should probably call Papo. After ensuring Il's still alive, Geffen pulls a scroll from his pocket. This is a high-level holy magic scroll he prepared just in case. But right then, a powerful female voice suddenly booms from behind. What's going on here? Need my assistance? It's Hermes. I didn't sense her at all. Geffen quickly suppresses his shock and turns around. The voracious eater, Hermes. That title isn't exactly flattering. Maybe calling me gourmet would be more fitting, Hermes jests with a grin. Completely contrasting Hermes' casual demeanor, cold sweat music cascades down Geffen's face. Can I take her on? The Pope had repeatedly warned against fighting the voracious eater. Geffen had dismissed it until now. Now, standing before her, he finally grasped why the Pope was so adamant. I can't sense any demonic energy at all. Even up close, Hermes' presence is undetectable. This is a bad omen. It signals a massive power gap between them. But Geffen has faced countless opponents stronger than him. He's eager to challenge himself once more. Between heartbeats, Hermes' terrifying magic power crashes down on Geffen like a wild storm. Don't music panic. Keep calm. Focus on finding the right time to escape with the Saint test. Just then, while he's thinking, music, a wave of dizziness hits him. His arm is severed. When did that happen? Geffen freezes in shock. Let's make this entertaining. Hermes opens her wide mouth, realizing he's utterly defeated. Forget escaping with the Saint test. Even his own survival is in jeopardy. Confirming the mission's failure, he bites down and crushes the scroll in his mouth. In an instant, A bright light erupts as the holy magic on the scroll activates. This pure holy power could reduce ordinary demons or beasts to ashes on contact, but Hermes, standing there, merely raises an eyebrow. Oh dear, trying to escape? Why not stick around for some fun? In a heartbeat, Geffen disappears without a trace. His escape skills are impressive. Truth is, Hermes let him go on purpose. If she really wanted him dead, she could have taken him out thousands of times within a minute. Demons have roamed the continent for over 500 years. Countless demons have come and gone in cycles. Yet only two demons stand as exceptions, the Demon Lord and Hermes. They loom like unyielding mountains. The Demon Lord seldom appears before others, but the voracious eater Hermes is an entirely different case. The ones who fell this time are all Eldrin's followers. Ludrin will be furious. Time flies, music, and before we know it, the next day arrives. Il faces another round of Ludrin's training. Your attack strategies and casting style remain outdated, too simplistic and direct. Your creativity is lacking, making your movements seem dull and stiff. Ludrin highlights Il's shortcomings but then changes his tone. No matter your strength, there's always someone even stronger. Thus, any tactics are fair game under Ludrin's guidance to secure victory. Today's training officially ends. As soon as he steps away, Il collapses onto the ground. Music, I'm fading. Someone help me. With the goddess Rachel's healing, Il starts to get back on his feet. To you, I'm just a healing potion, right? But despite Rachel's grumbling, Il's mind has already wandered far away. I have nothing to share. Get stronger, Il. Only with enough power can you uphold your beliefs. Saint Tess Absent declared, I must grow stronger. Il's untimely statement instantly sparks Rachel's jealousy. Are you still hung up on that woman? You nearly lost your life for her. You spoke ill of Saint Tess. Such insults could bring divine punishment. As the bickering unfolds, Rachel expresses her confusion. That blonde assassin can wield holy power, so why would he target a saint from his own ranks? Il nods in understanding. As the next saint, she should be incredibly significant. Either way, music, we shouldn't speak of the saints anymore. Why? Because you've got feelings for her. Il covers his ears. Enough. Quit being jealous, sharper than his stubborn pride, right now. A while later, Il lies in his chamber, weeping. Let my life end now. I don't want to be human again. His behavior leaves Popo utterly baffled. Are you worried about that idiot? I think you've come to view him as your master. To settle Popo's uncertainty, Rachel recounts the events from 10 minutes prior. Back then, Il was summoned to Hermes' office. I have a major dilemma right now. I'm bored. Hermes' words catch Il off guard. What does she want? Music. This time, I want to witness something exciting. You have 1 month. Go take down a battalion commander. Noticing Il's distressed expression, Hermes points. Music, implying that if he feels overwhelmed, she can lend a hand just like she did for Culkin. Totally unnecessary. I will fulfill your request flawlessly. After explaining everything to Popo, Rachel reminds, bid him farewell, Popo. You won't see him for a while. After this, she soars to Il's side. Accept your music fate. With your 9,000 power level, do you really think you can take down a battalion commander? I'm already suffering. I wouldn't mind dragging someone down with me, Il remarks, reclining on the table. Most battalion commanders boast power levels exceeding 40,000. Looking at Popo below, whose power level has reached unimaginable heights, Il's music sighs. If only you could fight in my place. But it seems this battle will be in a duel format. Yes, that's right. Before concluding, Il appears to ponder something. A duel? No. Hermes didn't specify it had to be a duel. After triple checking with Rachel, Il verifies Hermes didn't require a duel. That means I can win by any means. Ambush, teaming up, or even all three. Draw him out, then have Popo lead an ambush and team up against him. Should I call you smart or sneaky? Rachel rolls her eyes at Il's scheme. But now they hit a snag, how to draw the battalion commander out. Yet, for Il, this isn't a problem. He just needs to grab some ribs, drizzle on honey to entice the blood, then chop up some mushrooms. Obviously, spices and garlic are crucial, and a little water-spitting fish is the garnish. Toss these ingredients in the pot, let it simmer on low for 2 hours, then it burns. Damn it. But Il seizes the moment to salvage the good bits, and finally sprinkles on some scallions. Perfect. With this music culinary masterpiece, I'm certain no battalion commander can say no. Meanwhile, in the camp, the mellow battalion commander Doris is blissfully enjoying his food. After getting rid of the nuisance Azulu, he's finally found peace. Suddenly, a subordinate reports, head chef Il is here to see him. Doris waves him off without a second thought, insisting that Azulu isn't coming back. But the soldier shakes his head in response. No, he's here to show gratitude. He wants to cook for you himself. At the mention of food, Doris's eyes widen with intrigue. There's always been a whisper that Il's roast can even win over Hermes. Music quickly, he beckons Il to come in. Shortly after the soldier leaves, Il strides in with a hefty plate, even holding a red rose in his mouth for flair. Lord Doris, it's been a while. This sight makes Doris's face flush, his heart racing like a wild deer. However, he quickly senses something is off and forces Music himself to chill. I hear you're here to say thanks. Yes. Because of your guidance a month ago, I smoothly ascended to head chef. Il sets the plate before Doris, and to show my appreciation to Lord Doris, I've meticulously prepared this dish. I hope you enjoy it. Doris hardly listens to Il, eyes glued to the tempting dish on the table. Wait, what's this aroma? Doris brutally grabs a large rib. The scent drives him wild with curiosity, overshadowing gratitude. He's desperate to taste this meat now. Doris shoves the meat into his mouth, savoring every bite. Then, unpleasant sounds escape his mouth. So good, I can't handle it. Ah. A flash of murderous intent flickers across Il's face, but it vanishes in an instant. Doris is oblivious. This meat is fantastic, Doris exclaims with a flushed face, seemingly embarrassed by his earlier behavior. I'm glad you like it. Il forces a cheerful smile that looks genuinely pleased. Well, I'll take my leave now. Il suppresses his revulsion, turns and opens the door. But the second he exits the room, Il vomits everything he's consumed this week. How to describe music? The scene I witnessed? It was simply vile. Absolutely revolting. I must take out this pig. And so, music. Il serves meals to Doris for a week, feeding him a meat diet to turn him into a meat slave, and plans to take him to the forest to finish him off. That was Il's original plan. But today, after trying the food, Doris suddenly looks troubled and hesitates. Apparently, he's up against a positional defense battle tomorrow. If he loses, he'll lose his battalion commander position. It's all because I ended up like this that people look down on me. Doris glances at his oversized figure, chuckling to himself, then gulps down meat greedily, while Il descends into a pit of despair. It's the end. If this pig loses in the duel, all my hard work over the past week goes down the drain. And let's be real, there's no way this pig can triumph in the final showdown. You should have managed your weight better, you foolish pig. Il wants to seize Doris by the collar and shout, but suddenly, Doris's voice cuts through. If you music can, I hope you'll come watch. You're my lucky charm. Alright. Il nods, silently praying in his heart. Please let the challenger be even worse than Doris. The next day, Il drags himself to the dueling arena, sporting panda eyes from lack of sleep. Look at the bright side music. Maybe that pig will have a sudden burst of brilliance and become a super pig. But what super pig weighs over 800 pounds? Totally unrealistic. Il doesn't even buy his own self-reassurance. Inside the music arena, it takes Doris a whole half hour just to climb up to the platform. But when he spots Il in the stands, he feels all his efforts are worthwhile. My lucky charm, you actually came. His opponent is a hefty, muscular demon with a deer head. Clearly, Il's wishes went awry. Soon, as the referee signals, the duel starts. Music. The deer-headed demon strikes first, moving with astonishing speed, but halts the moment he connects with Doris. Surprisingly, despite seeming weak, Doris has the strength to firmly dominate his opponent. He quickly adjusts his stance, then suddenly unleashes a forceful blow that obliterates the entire dueling arena. Even Il, music far in the stands, nearly gets swept up in the aftermath. Il knows this fight is a wrap. The demon victor is Doris. After the duel, Il retreats to his quarters. Having witnessed Doris's real strength, he realizes that Papa alone stands no chance against Doris. So, Il changes his strategy. He must seek out stronger creatures deep within the hunting forest to combine forces against Doris, like the Taurus Queen, for instance. Thanks to the hard work of these cooking soldiers, Il grasps the situation in this area. His face beams with pride. Hero, are you planning to? Correct. There's a saying, the enemy of my enemy is my ally. On the third day in the back mountain forest, Rachel clutches her mouth, close to vomiting at any moment. After cramming the Beast Encyclopedia for 3 full days, her brain is bursting at the seams with knowledge. Before I vomit, let's move quickly. Hero nods and pulls out a map. The first destination is 1 kilometer ahead. The cooking soldiers labeled it as a monster named Sima Bibufi. Rachel quickly adds, in ancient music language, that translates to forest worm. There are also 2 other monsters that look similar, Mosby and Estanibia. But Rachel quickly dismisses them, believing their attack power isn't strong enough and they won't engage people. What about music that? Isn't this goddess amazing? Call me the beast expert. Il is taken aback. Ah, yes. Indeed, you're not just talented, but very wise as well. That said, air-headed folks sure catch on fast. Before long, Il gathers all the kitchen soldiers. He studies the map attentively, and one spot grabs his attention, marked as music shrouded in steel-like scales, dragon-shaped in appearance. However, Rachel mentions there are various dragon types, and these details alone can't pinpoint which kind it is. In Il's view, dragons are supposed to be the fiercest creatures out there, so he decides to investigate personally. Upon entering the dragon's domain, Il assigns the kitchen soldiers their task for today. We're tidying, music this area. Move out, no need for live captures. Do your hunting here, dig in right away. Il's directive sends the kitchen soldiers into a frenzy. Wow, the head chef finally snaps out of it. We can chow down on fresh meat until we're full. Meat. I crave meat. Before long, they take down a massive number of beasts in this spot. But unlike the kitchen soldiers, Il seems on edge. Why hasn't the Beast Lord made an appearance yet? Logically, with so many smaller ones dispatched, the big one should show up by now, shouldn't it? So that they don't waste the whole day, Il decides to escalate things, commanding the kitchen soldiers to ignite fires and roast the beasts right here. Sure enough, right after the grilling kicks off, the ground starts shaking. Simultaneously, Il's eyes light up. Is it coming? Though he can't quite place it, he senses something enormous heading their way. Soon enough, a beast crashes through the foliage. Its eyes blaze blood red, towering at a shocking 5 meters, with a dragon-like head and a body shrouded in black scales. Il swiftly activates his power gauge. Power off the charts. Off the charts. Perfect. This power level checks out. Rachel informs him this beast is called Nadri, with combat capabilities rivaling a battalion commander. A colossal dragon has arrived. Flee. The cooking soldiers scatter in terror, but Il smiles in this moment. We can take down Doris. Everyone, I'll lead the way. With that, Il sprints away at full throttle. Meanwhile, Lordran finds himself summoned to Hermes' office. What has Il been up to lately? Lordran responds that he's been up to his usual chef duties. Hermes finds this surprising. Il has been acting too calm lately. Don't tell me you taught him some new amazing technique again, Lord. No, we're just keeping up with regular training. Hermes then asks about the odds of Il beating a battalion commander, and Lordran replies 0. Although Il has been composed lately, Lordran has noticed something odd. I heard he's been getting quite cozy with Doris recently. You mean that pig? Hermes looks confused. He claims he can take down a battalion commander, yet here he is getting close to one. What is music he plotting? How intriguing. Let's just wait and see. In the days that follow, Il continuously prepares mouth-watering dishes for Doris. This is simply scrumptious. Thanks for today's barbecue. 2. After polishing off 50 plates of barbecue, Doris lets out a small burp. At that moment, Il feigns a difficult sigh. This odd behavior grabs Doris's attention. What's wrong? Did something occur? Il's eyes glimmer with tears. It's music, nothing, just an issue in our kitchen department. This might be the last meal I can offer you. The seriousness of the situation jolts Doris to his feet. What? Tell me what's going on. Il, with a downcast expression, waves his hands. Commander Hermes wants to taste special beast meat, but this beast is too powerful. Even after numerous days of battling, we haven't managed to capture it. Doris is shocked by this news. He can't comprehend what creature could be that formidable. A marble-patterned beast? What on earth is that? I've never come across that before, but it totally makes sense that Doris hasn't since I just whipped it up right now. This is a matter of life and death. I wouldn't make that up. Observing Il's situation, Doris generously steps up to lend him 200 soldiers. Yet, Il turns down the offer, believing those soldiers are far too weak. No matter how many are sent, they'd only be risking their lives in vain. However, if our glorious Lord Doris chose to intervene himself, maybe everything could be sorted out. And if that happens, I'll ensure Commander Hermes hears about Lord Doris's contribution. Just picturing that after a victory, the commander might cup his handsome face and sing his praises gets Doris all fired up. Really? Is it going to play out like that? Noticing Doris hesitate, Il quickly reassures him that he'll definitely inform the commander, which finally persuades him to agree. Alright then, I'll back you up. After all, we're music friends. Seriously, you're in? A meaningful grin spreads across Il's downturned face. Thank you, my lord. The next day at dawn, Il leads a massive force towards the forest. Today is the day of the decisive battle, dubbed the Pig Hunt Operation. Thus, he specifically brings along the toughest fighters from the cooking soldiers, Po and Azolu. Although Hermes' deadline isn't close, they choose to act early. Il approaches Doris's troops, and soon both factions unite, proceeding together into the forest. Doris doesn't just show up, he even brings every soldier from his battalion, showcasing the gravity he places on this situation. But that's not great for Il. This is way too excessive. Over 500 soldiers. Naturally, Nidrake, you're not a coward either, right? It's the only way Il can console himself. After trudging through the forest for what feels like ages, the ground suddenly quakes violently. Il swallows hard. That's it. It's coming. Good. Music. Time to stretch these muscles. Doris stretches and jumps down from the carriage. At that moment, Nidri bursts through the forest foliage, making its entrance. Its roar reverberates throughout the land. Nidri's music eerie call makes Doris furrow his brow. So, that's the creature they call the marble-patterned beast, but I feel like I've encountered it somewhere before. Doris appears deep in thought. He must have come across Nidri at some point in the past. Il quickly cuts in on his train of thought. Don't all beasts pretty much look the music same? Haha, I guess so. Thankfully, Il manages to sway Doris easily. Then I'll take care of this thing. Just make sure you let the commander know about my contribution. With that, Doris charges ahead on his own. Naturally, I'll make sure to report everything thoroughly to the commander. Il's lips rise into a subtle smile. Soon, Doris goes toe-to-toe with Nidri, and every clash between them results in thunderous booms. The ground fractures and stones burst apart. My lord hero, when do we strike? At this rate, that pig will really end up felling Nidri. Rachel whispers from within Il's arms. Yet, Il's eyes widen in shock. He never anticipated Doris would make such a bold move, sacrificing the battalion soldiers to absorb Nidri's blows while ensuring his own safety. But just as the fighting escalates, a soldier suddenly rushes over in a frenzy, shouting that another beast is music attacking. This throws Ill's plans into disarray. Is this really Nidri's domain? Naturally, roaring loudly that another creature is music striking. This totally throws off Ill's strategy. Isn't this Nidri's domain? By the laws of nature, generally, beasts don't invade one another's territories. Suddenly, the earth cracks, and a colossal worm-like beast erupts from the ground. Music! That's Cimabue. Rachel immediately recognizes the creature and yells, "What made that thing just pop up?" Ill roars. Yet, that's not the last beast they'll face. Beasts ruling different parts of the forest appear one after another. This is completely off script. Realizing the odds are against him, Doris promptly orders his troops to fall back. Meanwhile, Rachel feels pressure building. "My lord hero, what should we do now? We can't let Doris escape. Ill knows us too well. If he retreats, death will surely follow him." Taking deep, steadying breaths, he finally speaks a few words. Lodron combat technique, first stance. "Ha, what are you even saying right now?" Doris appears utterly perplexed, but in less than a second, Ill's crushing punch slams into Doris's stomach. "Cancel that command. We cannot retreat, not now." Ill suddenly raises his voice. "Everyone listen to me. Fight with all your might. We have no retreat. Only those who live will earn our victory feast." His powerful voice cuts through the chaos of the forest. Meanwhile, the hit Doris sinks into contemplation. When are demons the most furious? After being beaten to a pulp? Nope. Or when they lose a battle for command? Nope again. It's when they're backstabbed by insect-like humans. He showed kindness, yet they dare betray him. Doris's rage fuels him to the brink of madness, itching to leap forward and shred Ill to bits. Ill! Crimson light explodes in Doris's eyes, fixated on just one thought: annihilate Ill. Music. Doris resolves himself and unleashes his ultimate hidden move. Demon Bloodline. Second stage Bloom. A skill where your life force is sacrificed for explosive power. Ill stands frozen in shock, and even Rachel urges him to escape at once. Yet Doris's attack is indiscriminate and deadly. His battle aura radiates from him like a shockwave, and the beast Cimabue near him perishes instantly. Music. Thankfully, Ill is at a safe distance, so his injuries remain minor, but Doris's fury is unwavering. "I'll shred you apart." In this critical instance, Ill remembers his two aces, Papo and Azalu. Where are they? Rachel looks anxious. They seem to have been pulled into Cimabue's den. This news plunges Ill into despair, meaning he has to take on Doris alone, a nearly impossible task. But, music, at that moment, Doris's body shakes as he coughs twice, blood seeping from the corner of his mouth. This revelation hits Ill. Doris's devastating move comes with brutal side effects. So, Ill takes off running. "Rachel, quickly tell me which beasts are nearby." 11 o'clock direction. If you proceed, you'll encounter the ogre territory. Ogres are fierce creatures with combat strength, typically over 30,000. But for Doris, currently in the bloom of the second stage, they're like trash on the roadside, swatted away without effort. Just like that, one runs while the other follows. This chase drags on for about 10 minutes. Doris, gradually losing his patience, halts and activates the third stage of Bloom of Blossom. Instantly, music waves of immense energy surge from deep within him. But in that instant, Doris feels an intense jolt in his heart, followed by a severe coughing fit, blood gushing uncontrollably from his mouth. Rachel can tell that the dark energy within him is draining fast. What's going on? Music. Have I hit my breaking point? I must have pushed myself too hard while running away. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Doris quickly turns and bolts. "Hey, where do you think you're going? Pal, just you wait. Once I'm back on my feet, you're toast." Maybe he's just exhausted beyond belief. Doris barely manages a few steps before Ill catches up. "You can't run away." Ill clenches his fist, gathering every ounce of his mana. Lodron fighting technique, 7th form, obliteration shockwave. But to music his shock, despite being near his breaking point, Doris still withstands his most powerful assault. The two mana forces clash in mid-air as if poised to rip apart the ground at any moment. Then, out of nowhere, an unknown force charges into the fray, instantly launching Ill backward. Damn, what just happened? Confused, he lifts his gaze to see Doris clinging desperately to Hermes' leg, pleading for salvation. "Please help me, Commander." Yet, what greets him is the overwhelming demonic force radiating from Hermes. "Quiet, Doris. How foolish can you be to get pummeled this badly by just a human?" Doris shuts his mouth instantly, and Ill seizes the moment, rushing forward in one quick movement. Just as we agreed, at this music second, I've triumphantly defeated a battalion commander. The moment his declaration rings out, Ill's kick strikes hard into the back of Doris's head, stating, "Defeating a battalion commander isn't a mistake." Hermes's massive lips curve into a grin. How amusing. Music laughter erupts from him uncontrollably. In the office, Hermes asks, "I told you to defeat a battalion commander, and this is how you went about it? I've exhausted every possible strategy, yet I never imagined you'd bring such turmoil to my troops." After hearing Ill's account, Hermes breaks into laughter. "What crazy thinking led you to this conclusion? I'd love to delve into that mind of yours." Ill freezes at this. "Please don't satisfy your curiosity. I would be extremely grateful." Hermes senses that Ill is twisting her words, but considering it's the first time, she reluctantly concedes that Il completed the task. I'm not pleased with this. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Il can only nod obediently. Yes, my lord. Thank you so much. Back at Popo's place, Il collapses onto the floor. Phew, I honestly thought I wouldn't make it. Today was a total grind. Every second felt like tiptoeing on a tightrope. By the way, what was that enhanced form Doris pulled off? It seems to be a skill unique to the demon race. We should ask that monitor about it. Hearing their chat, Popo, who was dozing at home, peeks out and calls out hesitantly. All right, music, all right. Popo worked hard too. I'm sorry I wasn't able to protect you better. Upon hearing this, Popo chirps cheerfully, seemingly signaling it's all good. Ah, so adorable. Il continues to pet Popo's head. Speaking of which, I do feel slightly guilty about Doris. He treated me quite well, but I played him in the end. Really? You don't appear the slightest bit remorseful to me. Rachel's gaze sharpens into icy slits. No, I apologize. I'm genuinely sorry. Il covers his face with both hands, yet his smile breaks through. Music, you're grinning right now, aren't you? Remove your hands. Following his victory over Doris, Il skyrockets to level 420, with his combat power hitting a frightening 13,936 points. Outstanding. Music. Let's keep this energy and charge ahead. Time to celebrate with a drink. Rachel presents a gigantic mug of ale. Here's to defeating Doris. 3 days later at dawn, Il reaches the training grounds early, even a half-hour ahead of Ludrin. You made it, Ludrin. Indeed. Congrats on taking down Doris. Thank you. Il strolls over, seizing the chance to inquire, Ludrin, do you know about Battle Aura? Ludrin pauses, eyes closed in contemplation, then eventually nods. Although it's a bit early for you, it should be acceptable. Really. Ludrin had initially meant to introduce Battle Aura much later since it's quite perilous. Practicing Battle Aura without a firm foundation could ruin one's body. Ludrin begins to clarify the concepts of Battle Aura. There are roughly 2 types of Battle Aura. The first type is tangible Battle Aura that follows distinct technique patterns, music. The second is intangible Battle Aura, like a flowing breath, lacking any fixed patterns compared to typical Battle Aura. Intangible Battle Aura is far more scarce, and the bloom of blossom that Doris utilized falls under this category. From Il's perspective, the first variety is an offensive skill, while the second serves as a buff skill. Ludrin elaborates, evolution form is an ancient combat technique. Music. Anyone who can wield demon energy can master it, but very few do, as it comes with incredibly severe side effects. Il ponders, can I also learn this evolution form skill? I sense dark magic within me, too. But Ludrin clarifies that it merely exists in his body, not dark magic he creates himself. Then it shouldn't pose an issue, right? Even if things go sideways, we have Lady Absin to back us up. Il is determined to learn this technique, despite its peril. Ludrin cradles his forehead, bowing his head in deep thought for quite some time. So Il promptly kneels and clutches Ludrin's leg. If you don't instruct me, I'm done for. You know Commander Hermes's mood. She might force me to duel a regiment commander tomorrow. Under Il's desperate appeal, Ludrin agrees, but warns that it might put your life at risk. Understood. Every moment here feels like a wager with my life. Let's get started. Meanwhile, in the underground prison of the Galen Empire's cathedral, currently, before the Pope hangs a bloody, bruised man none other than Ossel Geffen. Having failed the mission to rescue the saints, he's now branded a criminal. His cracked lips quiver. The Pope. Is it beginning? Another round of torture. Suffering masked as penance. The Pope nods, acknowledging Geffen's remark. I'll grant you an opportunity to redeem yourself for your sins. The Pope's repulsive words make him feel nauseous. But Ossel isn't ready to meet his end. What opportunity? Eliminate Ablis and Marriott. The Pope's face music turns frigid. Geffen fears he misheard. What did you say? Why? This defies logic. Eliminate the candidate saints. What do you stand to gain? The Pope remains silent, only stating that the reason doesn't require disclosure. Geffen shakes his head. I can't take on this mission. The glutton lurking in the Black Castle isn't someone I can face. When the Pope hears this, his stern demeanor softens instantly. No need to stress. We'll strike when the glutton is away. Plus, music. I'll send 3 knights to back you up. This time, Geffen, you must succeed. On your path to glory, failure simply cannot be an option. Meanwhile, across the way, after using the evolution form for the first time, Il foams at the mouth and collapses to the ground, barely hanging on. Luckily, Ludrin calls for Absin. Are you both out of your minds? Forcing a human to practice a technique meant for demons. Il claims he's fine, and over time, the demon energy within him will fade. Ablisson glares at Ludrin with a lethal stare. How can you determine anything is safe if you're not the expert? If we don't act, Il's chances of survival drop below 1%. Earlier, she had contained and sealed the demon energy within him, but now it's all been unleashed. Given this, Absin has just one method to fully merge the demonic power in Il's body with his music flesh. This situation starkly contrasts the earlier one where the demonic power merely lingered inside. It's a drastic change in the human condition that shouldn't even be logically feasible. I will employ holy power to subdue the demon energy. Then I'll spread it thoroughly and evenly, adjusting the concentration in each segment until it falls within an acceptable range for his body. Is this even feasible? Ludren's expression grows serious. I'm not so sure either. I've never attempted this before, and there's no precedent. There's also the chance that the demon energy could resist the holy power and turn violent. Ablison grips Ill's hand, but still, we have no choice but to at least give it a shot. As her words resonate, a dazzling golden light suddenly brightens the surroundings, and holy power emanating from Ablison starts to flow into Ill. 3 days later, Ill groans and finally opens his eyes. What just happened to me? Before he can even stand, Poe and Rachel rush to him. You're awake. You finally regain consciousness. Our hero is back. Rachel gazes intensely at Ill. My lord hero, are you okay? I'm fine, Ill responds weakly. His memories halt at mastering the evolution form, but his body feels normal. Ill checks his status screen. Just as I feared, the box symbol that popped up on his status screen not long ago has now transformed into demon energy. I'm truly finished now, Rachel. Can a hero even have demon energy? Shortly after Ill awakens, Hermes and Ludren arrive, having heard the news. See, I told you he'd wake up. Hermes listens to the whole tale from Ludren and finds it intriguing. You tried to transform demon energy into human strength. With such a fascinating concept, why didn't you share it with me? Hermes' voice suddenly lowers. It seems there's a reason humans call her Saint Tess for keeping you alive in a situation like this. How about I lend you a hand? In a flash, Hermes' mouth slowly stretches into a smile as she moves closer, unleashing her magical power. Just as Ill attempts to back away, huge torrents of magic power surge into his body. In agonizing pain, his consciousness begins to fade. Don't worry, Ludren. He'll be okay. It's fine. Just let him drift off. You should feel lucky. With that baffling statement, Ill's awareness completely fades. The Demon Lord has summoned me. I have to go, Ludren. There's something I need to trust you with. In an instant, 3 days have flown by since Hermes departed, and the fallen Ill is thankfully on the mend, all due to Ablison's diligence. Throughout this time, she has been caring for him with great attention. Thank you, Lady Absin. Don't mention it. Your strength of will pulled you through. Absin suddenly whispers, you are my only hope. This leaves Ill bewildered. Yet Absin refuses to elaborate. Today's treatment is over. I must leave, Lady Absin. Why does she keep dropping these odd statements? Just what is she hiding from me? Once Absin departs, Ill immediately tracks down Ludren to insist on resuming training. Are you sure that's wise? Ludren regards Ill with worry. Lady Absin said, as long as I don't exert magical power, it's fine. Hearing Ill's words, Ludren's mind slips far away. It's been 3 days since Commander Hermes took off. This gathering in the Demon Lord's castle is an annual ritual, but this year, for some reason, I can't shake a sense of foreboding. Ludren, only after Ill's persistent calls does he return to reality. You've been keeping really busy lately, right? That's because you bear all the burdens of the Legion Commander. Can I assist you with anything? Ludren shakes his head. I'm fine. The Commander will return soon anyhow, so don't fret over me. Concentrate on yourself. Heeding those heartfelt words, Ill bows deeply. Yes, sir, understood. Observing Ill's bright smile, Ludren ponders once more. Ill has truly grown stronger, even if he hasn't noticed it yet. Is this transformation from his body adjusting to demonic energy? Perhaps Ill's frame is toughening as it acclimatizes to the demonic force. Just as he's reflecting on this growth, Ludren's demeanor suddenly freezes. This is holy power. Within the Demon Army's 3rd Legion headquarters, Black Giant Star, Ludren unexpectedly senses holy energy. While candidate Saint Absin is indeed stationed here, what he perceives is definitely not her power. Someone's concealing holy power. There are 3, or perhaps 4, holy presences lurking in the shadows. If Ludren wasn't so finely attuned to holy energy, he likely wouldn't catch the disturbance at all. Seems like trouble is on the horizon. Ludren's abrupt declaration leaves Ill stunned. What trouble? There's no time to explain. Stay here. He leaves Ill, they're bewildered. Ludren rushes off in a specific direction, likely to keep their movements concealed. The invaders advance gradually. Their infiltration is going astonishingly well. Maybe it's because the glutton isn't present, Geffen. Unlike the knight's relaxed demeanor, Geffen displays bravery this time. Keep your voices down. The glutton may be absent, but another beast roams this castle, known as the Red Nightmare. Just as he finishes his thought, an incoming Ludren successfully blocks their path. The intruders, 4 humans shrouded in black cloaks, are clearly taken aback upon Ludren's sudden appearance. He's the Red Nightmare. This guy's demonic energy is off the charts. Everyone, tread carefully. The leader, Geffen, promptly issues combat commands to the team. Lucas, Nell, go locate Saint Absin. Orca, you and I will confront the Crimson Nightmare together. Staring into those eyes, Music Ludin can't help but scowl. That guy's definitely a division commander level. Old Geffen, drenched in insanity, you can feel the magical power of a division commander radiating from him. Their objective is probably to rescue Absin. Given the critical nature of their mission, they've likely assembled the best of the best. The remaining 3 must be at least company commander level. To be honest, dealing with Oseljan alone is tough enough. But luckily, at that moment, Ill's voice cuts in from behind. Ludrin, this looks pretty serious, so I came rushing over too. Although Lordrin outwardly says, didn't I tell you to stay put and wait for me? Deep down, he's really thankful. Listen, Ill, their target is the Saints. As Ludrin Music explains, he takes off his necklace and throws it to him. Take the Saints and run at once. Use this necklace as proof to call in the senior officers of our unit. Got it? Ill nods without a second thought. At the same time, the human side starts to react too. Geffen and Lodrin clash fiercely. Stop that guy. If this spirals out of control, it could get messy. Two knights instantly pursue Ill. Without the commander's orders, you're not allowed to take the Saints. In that moment, Ludrin slams his fist into the ground. Ludrin's combat style, 7th form. Explosion shockwave. As his fist strikes the ground, a massive boom erupts, and the earth trembles violently. Thanks to Ludrin's assistance, Ill escapes unharmed and dashes straight to Absin's room. At that moment, the hero system suddenly activates. Evil villains are trying to eliminate Absin Marriott. As the hero, Music, it's your responsibility to safeguard this candidate, Saint Tess. Objective, protect Absin Marriott. Reward, 1,000 hero points. Evil villains trying to kill Absin Marriott. No matter how I look at it, this seems off. That group is probably a rescue team from the Holy Galen Empire. So, aren't they the good guys? Plus, the reward is way too generous. The bounty is a staggering 1,000 hero points. Ill shakes his head to dispel distracting thoughts and bursts into Saint Tess's room. Humans. Those same humans have infiltrated again. We need to get out fast. With Ludrin's necklace in hand, the Minotaurs guarding Saint Tess don't block Music his way. The invaders have arrived. By Ludrin's orders, we will defend this area till our last breath and prevent anyone from breaching it. Human, grab Saint Tess and hurry. The situation is urgent, so Ill scoops Absin up in his arms. Please excuse my rudeness. At Demon Army 3rd Legion Headquarters Conference Room, Commander Royal is holding a meeting with his officers. Right now, 2 commanders are stationed at Black Castle, each overseeing 5 battalion commanders. After Doris fell in battle, only 9 battalion commanders remain. During the meeting, a goblin suddenly bursts in with an urgent report. Emergency. A human wielding Ludrin's necklace has arrived here. He claims humans are attacking the castle in pursuit of the Saints. What's happening? Confused, Royal steps out to confront Ill. This commander's appearance is indistinguishable from that of humans. Ill has encountered him before. He's the high-ranking demon who appeared during Doris's commander selection battle. Break it down for me, what went down? Ill pulls out Lodrin's necklace and spills the entire story. Royal, upon hearing this, looks completely stunned. Humans are out to take down the Saints, how could that even happen? Yet, in the next heartbeat, he suddenly yells for everyone to clear the way. And sure enough, 2 dark figures come crashing down from above. Their sights are locked squarely on the Saints. Although Royal quickly conjures a restraint spell, trying to trap the attackers, it's too far away. He realizes he's not going to get there in time. Just like the hero's journey foretold, this team didn't come to save Absin, but to take him out. Blades slice through the air with deadly force, ready to puncture anything. It's Ludrin's combat technique, 7th form, shockwave explosion. In this critical moment, Ill lands a devastating blow against the assailants.